Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's a lot of blood. Whoops. I think we caught something there, Sean.
You're listening to the Headlock Talkover podcast, where we like wrestling and we talk about wrestling with Jack and Jeremy.
Hello and welcome to the Headlock Talkover podcast, a podcast where we like wrestling and we talk about wrestling. I am Jeremy, joined as always by Jack. How are you, Jack?
Fine.
Good. You sure?
Yeah.
That's all right then. Welcome to this episode where we will be talking over Survivor Series 2003, which contained both of the Brothers of Destruction, both of the male members of the McMahon family facing each other in an ambulance match and a buried alive match. Mm-hmm. Look forward to all of that. What we are going to do, because by the time we record the next episode, Full Gear will have happened, so we can talk over the fallout of that. So we're going to predict it now. We just looked at this card, and you just went, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Whatever match that was, can we start with it?
It's the pre-show.
Okay.
Since when did QT Marshall work for AEW again? I thought he left.
I don't remember him leaving.
Didn't he leave and slag him off loads?
I paid that little attention. I had no idea he left if he has.
I might have made that up. Click on his thing.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. You're right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
He went to Lucha Libre.
Yeah, he left.
Triple A.
He left and then slagged him off loads, and now he's obviously come back.
Maybe Tony's trying to pull a Vince and be like, well, anybody can come back.
Also, more importantly, who's Big Boom AJ?
Excellent question. TikToker.
Get rid of it.
Jesus Christ. Never mind. We'll start with MJF versus Adam Cole and or Roderick Strong. I haven't watched Dynamite. I don't know why or how Roderick Strong's getting added to this.
No, I mean, the end goal of this feud is MJF versus Adam Cole, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
So Cole, for some reason, I think won't be in that match, and it'll be MJF versus Roderick Strong.
That's the smart choice, I think.
And MJF will go over.
However, wouldn't that be heel versus heel?
Wouldn't Strong be a face just because of association with Cole?
This is the confusing thing. Since Adam Cole's come back, I haven't really followed AEW that closely, but I said in the last episode that we recorded that Adam Cole sort of turned face since he's become injured. Because when he became injured, he was the heel, MJF was the face.
Yeah.
And they've swapped places now. And Roderick Strong's still been part of Undisputed, or Undisputed Kingdom, I think they became, afterwards.
Yeah, that makes,
So they were a heel faction. Then Swerved turned face, and then Undisputed were just off doing their own thing.
Right.
So I think Roderick's still a heel, which makes me think it will probably be a triple threat. And MJF will pin Roderick Strong. So I'm going with MJF.
Yeah. I mean, we got the same winner, but just different matches.
So you think it'll still be MJF pinning Strong, but Adam Cole won't be there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't care how or why.
Yeah, I think as long as we don't just get MJF versus Adam Cole now, it needs to really build to something serious. It needs a little bit more time to cook and become like a real blood feud where they have maybe a stipulation match where it gets kind of nasty.
Yeah.
Because that's what AEW do best.
I haven't watched AEW for a while. I have been watching the Adam Cole matches just because he's been fighting House of Black members.
Of course.
Of course. And he's been cutting decent promos and... Yeah.
That's Adam Cole for you.
It's Adam Cole, though, isn't it?
Before we move on to the next match, though, shall we talk a little bit more about House of Black? Particularly Malachi, because there's been quite an interesting news cycle in regards to Malachi Black in the last week or so. On the latest episode of Dynamite, he faced Adam Cole, lost to Adam Cole by almost sacrificing himself.
Yeah.
And to a lot of people, it felt like a goodbye.
Yeah,
almost like he's like, I'm leaving AEW, and a lot of people were so sure he was leaving and then jumping ship to WWE.
It's become like a sort of running joke, isn't it, that Malachi's leaving AEW, and it does. That definitely felt like a goodbye.
Yeah,
but he's put out a video saying, no, I'm not going anywhere. it was just someone cutting a promo. I don't think he said this in his video, but the whole him sacrificing himself thing was a callback to a match that they'd had before, where it was the opposite, where Cole basically went, "Come on, Black Mass."
Yeah,
whatever,
I do
blah,
remember
blah, blah.
seeing that somewhere.
Yeah, but it I don't know if they're just playing up on the fact that everyone thinks Malachi's leaving. I watched a Cultaholic video, and it was Tom Campbell said this. Malachi should lean into it, and at the end of every match, he should stand in the ring and bow and wave. And
make everybody think that he's leaving.
Yeah, every single match.
That would be good, but that would blue ball you to no end because you are dying for him to jump ship again.
Well, I'm not dying for him to jump ship. I'm just dying to see more of him.
Yeah, I can understand that. He's underutilized at best.
And it's through my own fault that I don't particularly watch that much AEW. So I guess you could say, I am dying for him to jump ship because I watch more of WWE, but I could just, watch AEW. And that would resolve my problem.
Yes, it would.
But from what I've seen, they're not really featured that much on AEW either.
Not currently, no.
But they did have a tag match recently, didn't they? Oh, they're fighting FTR. They teased a little feud.
Yes, that might come up in a later match that we've got to predict.
Right.
But before we get to that, we'll talk about Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. So Hangman Adam Page has moved on from I want to kill Swerve and has moved on to I now want to kill Jay. It seems that this is Hangman's trajectory now. He's just going to pick a fight with someone. That fight's going to last a few months and it's going to get nasty. They faced each other at the last AEW pay-per-view and Jay White won. I have to believe they're going 50-50 with this and Hangman's going to win.
I don't particularly care for either of them, to be honest.
No?
No. Jay White hasn't done anything impressive since he's been in AEW, I don't think. Not for me, anyway.
He's done some impressive, comedy bits as part of the Bang Bang Gang, along with Juice and...
Yeah, that was
and
decent.
The Guns.
Yeah.
I liked his match with MJF this time last year. They faced each other at Full Gear 2023 for the world title. That was a really good match, especially since they did the possession of the belt storyline. Jay had stolen the belt from MJF and made it work. So, yet to be seen how exactly the storyline is going to run with Hangman, but they're creative in how they treat Hangman. They give him stuff that's somewhat unique, or if it's not unique, it's certainly well represented. Like burning down Swerve's house.
Yeah.
We can't pretend we haven't seen a home invasion angle in wrestling before, but actually burning down what is Swerve's house, it's clever.
Whose house?
Swerve's house.
Oh, right, okay. Who did you go for?
I'm going to go Hangman. I think they're 50-50 booking this for now.
I'm going to go Jay White then. Makes no difference to me.
Yeah, okay. So for the next match, we're going to have to do an extra bit of predictions here because it's a 4-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships.
I'm going to stop you there.
Go on.
I don't need to do any more booking.
Neither do I.
Because I've only recently just discovered the Outrunners.
Yeah.
And I think they're the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
The young up-and-comers, the Outrunners.
I think, and the fact that they're called Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd.
It's incredible,
isn't
it?
So good. And every time I see them in our predictions now, I'm going to try and manifest it. And I want them to have all of the gold.
You are doing what every AEW fan tends to do, is they'll just attach themselves to a certain person or a certain team and be like, them, now, belts, thank you.
Yeah, please.
It happened with the Acclaimed. It happened with Private Party.
Yeah.
But the Private Party have been champions for 3-4 weeks, so they're going to win.
It happened with the fucking, what was they called? The Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
Early days as well. Yeah.
But there are 2 other teams to be announced because it's just Private Party and the Outrunners for now. I think that goes back to what you were saying about House of Black and FTR.
I think theirs will be separate. So I think it'll be the Acclaimed and
it's tough, isn't it?
Shelton and MVP?
I mean, the Guns. There are plenty of options in the AEW tag division.
I think they forgot about the Guns.
Better not have forgot about the Guns.
Yeah. I don't know.
You going to stick with the Outrunners, though? Just for manifesting sake?
I am.
Okay.
I mean, I know Private Party are going to win, but I'm going for the Outrunners.
Okay.
I'm picking the Out. Who are you going for?
I'm definitely going Private Party. Like I said, they've had the belt. Okay. They've had the belts for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
If they lose it now, then what's the point? Might as well have had the Young Bucks do this. Next, we have a match for the AEW TBS Championship. We have Jack's favourite wrestler in the entire world, Mercedes Moné, defending against Chris Statlander. Who do you reckon?
Statlander.
I agree with you.
Good.
So, the reason I think that is, on the latest episode, I think it was Collision. So it's just happened. I think Chris Statlander had a match maybe against Moné, or maybe Moné interfered, but Moné got the bank statement. I'm not sure what she's calling it in AEW, but she got it in on Statlander. Statlander was tapping, and Moné was not letting go. Like, it was kind of bizarre, because there were 3, like, male referees stood around her going, "Stop, please stop," and not trying to stop her.
We've spoke about the fact before that there's not a lot of Mercedes. Yeah. Like, yeah. All right, what's the female ref called? Aubrey?
Aubrey, yeah.
Aubrey could have just gone, get off.
Get out of here.
Get off.
So it was a bizarre sight. I think they had quite a few people trying to break up.
Just yell, "Stop it!"
Yeah, basically, that's what they did. It was utterly bizarre. But I think Statlander is going to get the win because of that, because Moné, she's had that title for a while now, and I think she does need to move up to the main title, and having her against Mariah May, I think, would be quite interesting.
Oh, that's not even on the card, is it?
No, but that might get announced in between now and then. But Mariah May is not currently defending the World Championship.
I think they need to do something with Statlander, because they need to try and make an effort to keep her, because if she goes over to NXT, or she jumps ship in any way, she's going to be a star.
I think that would be a problem, purely because the NXT women's roster is quite stacked. So there's always the chance you get lost in the shuffle with that many impressive women.
I don't think so. I think they'd want to make an example out of, because this would be the first female from AEW to come to NXT. Yeah. I know that Jade went straight to main, and that didn't quite work out how they thought it was going to. I don't think
it's a slow burn.
But if they got, say, a Statlander or a Julia Hart or someone like that, I think they'd just go bang, go.
Statlander versus Roxanne Perez. You'd lose your mind. Get out the Robinsons, because it's time for some squash.
Yes.
Exactly.
Someone needs to take that time.
Someone will, don't you worry.
It'll be Jordan Grace. But that's not any here nor there.
We'll forget about that. Next up, we have Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley. I don't think there's any Hurt Syndicate stipulation here. I think Swerve's just like, I'm not joining you guys. And Bobby's like, well, I'm just going to beat the living shit out of you then. Speaking of which, you called the name of the faction before it was announced. So well done on that.
I thought you did.
No, I didn't. We've got it on video. You called them the Hurt Syndicate first.
Okay.
And I didn't.
Syndicate sounds like a word that you'd come up with, because I'm not smart enough to think
it came up with it was really stupid stuff I came up with. I think it was pain business. That's what I came up with.
Fair enough. This is Lashley's first match.
I believe so.
I think he's going to squash Swerve.
I don't think he's going to squash Swerve, but I do think he's winning. I think it's going to be a real David versus Goliath, where Goliath comes on top. Like, Swerve's going to have the heart of a lion, but Bobby's still just going to crush him to bits. Think of this like any Survivor Series match that Brock Lesnar had in recent years. Like his match with Daniel Bryan and his match with AJ Styles. That's what I'm picturing.
Okay.
Bobby gets the win, but you kind of have that little bit of hope that Swerve might win. So that is exactly what I'm picturing. And if they can make that work, it's going to be a hell of a contest between those two. So I'm looking forward to that one for sure. But we're definitely both agreed on Bobby. Next up, we have a match for the TNT Championship. The champion, the scapegoat, Jack Perry, defending against Daniel Garcia. Now, this is another interesting one because they've got some kind of history, I believe. They really teased this after the last pay-per-view. I think Perry... Who did Perry face in the last pay-per-view? I can't remember who it was now.
Oh, boring myself talking about Jack Perry, sorry.
It might have been Darby, but either way, afterwards, Perry was attacking whoever he was facing after the bell. Garcia came up to make the save.
Right.
So there's something there. And I think Garcia's just after gold at this point. He doesn't care where he gets it from. He just wants a title in AEW because he's only ever held the ROH Pure Championship since he's been with the company.
That's a belt, isn't it?
It's not an AEW belt, though.
I think he's going over, you know. Bucks have just lost their titles.
What do you think? The entire elite are going to lose it bit by bit?
Yeah.
And Okada will be the last man standing?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, Garcia just had that weird contract thing, didn't he? Where he almost, like, apparently there was interest from NXT. And I think he hasn't really been rewarded yet, so they might say to him,
This might be
here's your belt.
I disagree, actually. I'm going to go with Jack. I'm going to go with old Jungle Jack purely because I'm going to go the opposite way on the main event. Purely out of spite, I think, at this point. But I think Perry's got a little bit more longevity in this feud. I think you really need someone pissing off the fans with a belt, and Perry's that guy. Because Young Bucks did that, but nobody disliked the Young Bucks as much as they dislike Jack Perry now.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think a good long run. Maybe Garcia gets another shot at World's End. That could happen. And he could take it then, maybe. I wish what they had done, if it's going the way I think it's going, and Perry wins now and Garcia wins at World's End, is Garcia didn't say anything about the contract stuff. Really teased like a title versus career kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, well, it is what it is.
But no, I'm going to go Jack Perry for that one, I think. I think there's more longevity, and we'll see how it goes. And then we have our main event. A match for the AEW World Championship. The champion Jon Moxley defending against Orange Cassidy. Now, these two do have history. You remember All Out 2023?
Remind me.
They faced each other for the International Championship.
Okay.
And Moxley took the belt off of Cassidy.
But you think Cassidy's going over?
I think he might, you know.
I think the idea of Orange Cassidy holding the AEW World Championship is insane.
It is insane. Which is why I kind of want to go for it.
It is laughable. No. I think you're very wrong.
Okay. I'm willing to do that. Like I said, I'm picking Orange Cassidy more out of spite than anything else.
Okay.
But who takes the title off Moxley? I don't think this will be a particularly long run because they've this saving AEW from whatever like conglomeration Jon Moxley's a part of. We're already in like third year of where this is going. So I don't think it'll be long before someone takes the title off him, but it's who does it?
Lashley.
Two heels?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah,
it's just the first name that I saw when I looked at the page.
I do like the idea.
Cole, maybe?
Cole's actually a good shout.
I don't know.
But this whole MJF thing's got to peter out first. And I think you would need a lot more time to make that happen.
Yeah.
I don't want Moxley as champion for another 6, 8, 10 months. One of the things I really liked about AEW is that they were constantly giving you fresh champions. And Jon Moxley's the exception to that because he's won it 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, I think this is like his 4th.
Yeah, if you
reign,
count the interim stuff, I think this is his 4th reign as champion. So someone has got to take it off him.
Yeah, they need a new one, don't they? I honestly don't know.
Exactly. Who on this roster hasn't been world champion and could feasibly take it off him very quickly? There aren't many who aren't in very like long-lasting feuds that could go on a while.
I can't believe Wardlow hasn't held it yet. I can. Looking at the stories that he's had, he should have had it by now.
I think it's more injuries that are letting him down.
Yeah.
At the moment, but
it seems sad to say, but I think it might be too late with Wardlow. Now.
Actually, I think I may have found the answer to my question. Osprey.
Oh,
It's going to be Osprey, isn't it?
yes.
Yes, of course, Osprey.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the man to do the job. World's End, maybe Revolution, but I'm still going with Cassidy for Hope at Home. I just want to see Orange Cassidy as world champion. I think that would be amazing, in the best and worst ways.
It'd be like Santino in WWE winning the.
Don't pretend you didn't want that to happen at the Elimination Chamber. Don't pretend a little bit of you was like, oh, I kind of want Santino to be world champion now.
I remember seeing it, and I don't think I wanted it to happen, but the first thing that went through my head was, oh my God, this is going to happen. And
didn't you get excited?
Same with the Rumble, when he almost won the Rumble.
Yeah. Didn't you get excited?
Yeah. But just for the pop more than anything.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to see this. It would be absolutely amazing. Yes, so that is our predictions for AEW Full Gear. Shall we go into what brief news there was this week? Wasn't an overly busy week. The two things I want to talk about on Raw are the two number one contender matches that happened. So, Damian Priest became the number one contender for Gunther's World Heavyweight Championship, defeating Seth Rollins, Dominic Mysterio, and Sheamus.
I thought Dom was going to take it,
I kind of thought it was. Gunther versus Dom Mysterio?
Yeah.
Yes, fucking please.
I thought that would have been amazing.
Yeah, they really teased it, I think, during the match. Rollins got taken out at some point by Reed. Okay. So Priest will face Gunther presumably at Survivor Series. Be an interesting little SummerSlam rematch. Gunther will still go over, but never mind.
I hope this leads to a feud with Sheamus and Priest.
For what reason?
Because they were both in the match. I don't know. I just want to see them. I just
want to slap in meat.
I just want to see them slap meat.
And then on the women's side, Io Sky won a Battle Royal. Isn't she a SmackDown superstar?
Don't worry about that.
So she's going to face Liv Morgan for her World Championship.
It'll be a good match.
Yeah. Morgan ain't losing, though.
No.
It's a shame Morgan's gone over because Io is really good. As I understand it, Io eliminated Valkyria last.
Oh, they were on the apron. It was a German suplex, wasn't it? Yeah.
So there's a good chance.
And she stayed in the suplex position celebrating.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
There's a good chance Valkyria might cost Io.
Keep that feud going.
That would be great because they're both very good in the ring, and that would be really fun to see. That is actually all I've had for Raw.
Who takes that title off, Liv?
Rhea. They're gonna keep it going. Rhea might come back at the Rumble. Depends how quickly that fracture heals. Wins the Rumble again. Faces Liv. Beats her. Nice WrestleMania moment. Everybody wins.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think that'll be it. But that means we're going to have to get through Liv being champion for another 5 months.
They can do that. It's not got boring yet.
I think as long as Dom's still part of it, I don't think it will get boring. It might get frustrating, but it won't be boring. That's for sure. Let's quickly, because I haven't written this down actually, can we quickly talk about NXT? Or NXT 2300.
If you want.
As it was called. I didn't know this was happening.
Okay.
WWE didn't advertise that very well, but NXT had a show in the theatre in Philadelphia where they would normally hold ECW shows.
Yes.
And a bunch of ECW superstars showed up to cause havoc. Rhino gored Ethan Page, I think.
Robert Stone.
That was it. I knew he gored someone. Little Guido faced Tony D'Angelo. Yeah.
Amazing. Did you see the finisher?
No, I didn't see the end of the match.
Oh, man. Tony D picks him up for like a spine buster and he starts doing this. Oh, he's brilliant.
Yeah, and the Dudleys turned up as well. I think
Dudleys turned up.
Were they in support of Trick?
Yeah.
I mean, Bubba's been said in the past on his podcast how big a fan he is of Trick. So it makes sense that he would endorse him in a way like that as well.
Dawn Marie refereed a match.
Francine as well?
Francine was in the crowd. I think they showed her in the crowd, yeah.
So
I think that's it.
Nice little homage to ECW. Sean seems to have things under control. It's a little bit... It's tackier than the NXT we're used to, but it's not bad, not by any stretch. And that's what wrestling should be.
Yeah,
good fucking fun. Orange Cassidy for champion. Anyway, SmackDown. Shall we talk about the inevitable 30-minute Bloodline segment that happened on SmackDown?
Go on.
I mean, the gist of it is that after Crown Jewel, where Sami Zayn accidentally kicked Roman Reigns in the face, he had to sort of come out and plead his case, saying, "Look, it was an accident." And he said to Roman, he did the whole "we're kind of equals" thing. I really wish we could go back to the way things were, but you owe someone an apology. And Sami doesn't say it's himself. He says it's Jay. And Roman turns to Jay and goes, "I'm sorry that you had to waste your time on this." And then they leave. So it's really still up in the air. The pop that's going to happen when Sami hugs any of those three is going to be immense.
Yep.
I can't wait for it.
You know what pop I'm waiting for?
Go on.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
Oh my God. That'll happen on the go home SmackDown, I think.
I think it'll happen. I think it'll happen on the night. I think he'll introduce them.
So all of the members of the Bloodline will come out, except for one who'll go into the cage. And then, ladies and gentlemen, yes.
Yeah. I thought Solo made a little botch as well when I was watching it, because he said, "Why don't you go to the back and get 4 people?" And I was like, shouldn't you mean 3 people and 4 people on a team then? But they kind of saved it by saying...
It is 4v4.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because you questioned it. You were like, is it 5v5?
Because that segment made it seem like it was 5 versus 5.
Well, War Games matches have been both 4v4 and 5v5, so it's unsure, but I hope it's 4v4. I don't want to have two mystery partners for each team at this point.
Well, because Solo counted, didn't he? He said 1, 2, 3, 4, and our next man is Sami Zayn that came out. So I don't know if it is 5v5. They didn't make it very clear. Also, Solo's got so good on the mic all of a sudden. He was absolute gold in that segment. Like the fake laugh he did and everything was brilliant.
Has he suddenly got good on the mic, or has he just not been given time to be on the mic?
Yeah, true.
He was just the strong, silent type. That was pretty much what he did for over a year. Maybe he spent his time honing in his spare time then.
Yeah. If it is 5v5, who do you reckon?
I have a funny feeling if it is 5v5, it'll be Dwayne on Solo's side.
You reckon?
Yeah. Because, I mean, there are options. There are a couple of people in the Bloodline who have allegedly signed with WWE, but to throw them in what will most likely be the main event of a top 4 pay-per-view as a debut, I can't see it.
Yeah. They've still got Hikuleo signed.
Zilla's a possibility.
Not yet, I don't
He's
think.
a possibility.
Yeah, he's a possibility, yeah.
Yeah, Hikuleo's the only one who might be. But as I said, I wouldn't want to throw someone like that onto WWE programming in the main event of a top 4 pay-per-view.
Yeah.
They need to build him. Like Solo, he turned up at Clash of the Castle on his debut, and he interfered in a match. He didn't, and he'd spent some time in NXT beforehand.
Yeah, true.
So you couldn't just throw him in like that. But I could be wrong. We'll see what happens. Shall we talk about the Women's Mid-Card Championship that was announced? So Nick Aldis announced that there will be a Women's United States Championship. Presumably on the Raw that's happening after we record this, they'll announce the Intercontinental Championship on the women's side as well. Not much to say. They're the same belts in white. I'm more curious as to who will be the inaugural champion for each one.
Yeah. Naomi.
Naomi's a good shout. Actually, you know who I would like to see it.
Asuka.
No.
Oh, okay.
You hit the post though. Dakota Kai.
Yeah. To be fair, at the minute, her kind of WWE legacy is that one that's always injured.
Yeah.
So yeah, have a good inaugural run with a belt would be pretty good, wouldn't it?
I remember seeing her in the Mae Young Classic. I'm pretty sure she faced Rhea Ripley in the Mae Young Classic at one point. That was two girls in their late teens, early 20s, both from Australia and New Zealand respectively. And it was a hell of a contest between the two. So Dakota can really go, and she's been dying for a singles opportunity, and I think she deserves it.
Yeah.
So I think to give her that belt would be good. But then on the Raw side...
God, imagine if Jade won it and then just had like a 2-year reign. And they're just like, you know what? It worked before.
Jade belts.
We'll do it again, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe someone from NXT?
Yeah, they could do that. Kel Rodriguez. Give her the belt.
That could work.
Yeah, it could.
That could really work, actually.
Liv and Raquel with the two belts.
Yeah.
Yep, sold myself. That'll do nicely.
Yeah, Raquel's decent as well. She can put on some decent matches. She could be a really good... Because no one's built like Raquel.
No.
In the women's division. I think she'd be a really dominant champion if they gave her the chance.
She's the, Statlander kind of equivalent.
Well, she's their Gunther, really.
Yeah.
They could be. She could be.
We have one more thing written here, and I'll be honest, I've done a lot of editing work today, so I haven't actually seen any wrestling news, and I looked at it as soon as you suggested we talk about it, because I didn't know what was going on. I've literally just got the words Street Profits written down. Would you like to divulge into that, and we'll talk about it?
Did you look into why I wanted to talk about it?
Yeah, kind of. So there's going to be a match on SmackDown where Street Profits, I think, face the Motor City Machine Guns for the Tag Team Championships. And it's kind of, they're like titles or bust. That's as I understand it, what the Street Profits are doing.
Well, it's what they've been saying outside of WWE.
Right.
Is they're getting a bit frustrated with their booking.
I can see it.
Yeah, and there might be a possibility of them leaving out of frustration. And there's some people have been saying they really want to push Montez Ford as a singles guy, but he doesn't want it because of the Street Profits.
He doesn't want to leave Angelo?
Angelo Dawkins, isn't it?
Angelo Dawkins, that's one. And
he thinks there's more value as them as a pair than him as a singles guy, which I don't think is right.
I think that's wrong as well. But I don't think he wants to leave Angelo in the dust as well.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if they leave. They could go to
They would go
anywhere.
to AEW in a heartbeat, and you know it.
Yeah.
And I don't think Tony would break him up either.
Oh, no, they'd be straight with MVP.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Jesus, I'd forgotten all about that. But at the same time, do we want Sabin and Shelley to lose the titles that quickly?
No, that's the thing.
That's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I totally agree, because when they first left NXT and turned up on Raw, they were white hot. Everybody loved them. And they've had multiple opportunities to win belts, and they've never done it.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
I think that must be 6 years, I think. Roughly 6 years they've been on the main roster without a tag team title win. It feels like that.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean...
They're fully justified.
Yeah, it is justified, but also I can see why they want to push Montez.
Yeah.
Because that guy is just a single star waiting to happen.
I've told you this before. They had... in the Performance Center, they have leaderboards for certain exercises and activities.
Yeah.
I think Montez Ford holds the second highest vertical leap.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
You've seen that man when he does a frog splash. He looks like he's gone into space.
It's when he jumps over the ropes, but he goes over the corner, so he goes over the corner and the turnbuckle and then the post.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my God.
It's unreal athleticism, and I can understand why they'd want to push him further. He was also in an Elimination Chamber match not too long ago as a singles competitor. And he really shined in that.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah.
So Montez is obviously a nice person, but it might be to his detriment.
Yeah, oh man, there's just so much potential there.
It could be such a shame. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Do you have anything else you want to talk about before we jump into the episode?
No.
Okay. In that case, we'll jump into Survivor Series 2003. Thank you for listening or watching thus far. Please give us a like, a follow, a subscribe, depending on where you are. Comment and let us know what you think of this episode and what other pay-per-views you'd like us to cover in future episodes. Enjoy the episode.
Bye.
Jack,
Yeah.
do you have what it takes to survive?
I've managed to survive COVID again this week.
Oh, yeah, that'll do.
So apologies in advance for my voice. I'm barely hanging on. I've got a funny feeling it's going to go.
Do you know what'll cheer you up, though? It's Survivor Series 2003, because it's a fucking mental pay-per-view.
I've not watched this in preparation. Like I said, I've been quite ill, and it was my wife's birthday and all sorts. But this has... when I messaged you earlier, didn't I? And I said, what are we doing? You said Survivor Series 03. And I said, is that the electric balls?
Took me a second to realise what you meant.
But it's not... It's the storyline, isn't it? So it's Shane versus Kane.
Yep.
Shane Kane.
Shane Kane.
Is that like a buried alive match?
No, it's an ambulance match.
Right, okay.
But you also have the Undertaker versus Vince McMahon in a buried alive match. Later on.
Okay, cool. And then there's Team Angle versus Team Brock.
Team Austin versus Team Bischoff.
Whoa.
Triple H versus Goldberg as the main event.
Oh, sick. I don't think I've ever seen this pay-per-view, so...
I believe there's Los Guerreros versus another tag team, I believe, for the tag team titles, I think.
In 2003.
In 2003.
For the
pre-Bashams, I think it was, so...
Okay.
It might be the Bashams, I'm not sure. It might be the world's greatest tag team. Do you remember them? Otherwise known as Team Angle.
That'd be a good match.
But we'll
Will
get to
they
it.
not be on Team Angle?
No, at this point I think they were the world's greatest tag team.
Okay. I mean, if there's Team Angle versus Team Brock, isn't there? So
yeah,
would they not be on Angle's team?
No, I don't think they were.
I'm trying to guess who's on that. I know Team Brock. If I remember, it's going to be Matt Morgan.
Yeah.
Albert.
Yeah.
Big Show.
Yeah.
Is it Nathan Jones?
It's Nathan Jones and Brock himself.
It was either Nathan Jones or Luther Reigns. And
apparently between the five of them, they weigh almost a ton.
That's in Texas as well. Don't know why that's relevant.
Yeah, so we're in November at this point for the release of this very specifically. That's why we've chosen the Survivor Series. Oh, we got John Cena versus Big Show. John Cena against someone else as well. Or was this Team Angle? Because I think Cena might be on Team Angle. Look at the doctor work.
What size do you think his tops are? Because he's a big man.
That's a lot of X's.
And they're oversized. But are they oversized? Because they fit around his collar really well.
Yeah, that's the point, isn't it? They're not like muscle fit tops, are they?
Why does he look so shocked everywhere? Is this his first pay-per-view?
No. It's not far off, though.
Yeah, I was just thinking, because he's looking around like...
No, he's getting ready to do his rap.
Oh,
Max
God.
Caster, eat your heart out.
I was just going to say... Oh, God, did he rap with no music?
Yeah. You just freestyle him. That's all he's doing.
I've been ruined by Max Caster. Only doing, 4 lines. Oh, God, are they mentioning Sable?
I think she's with the company at this point.
Not with Brock.
I don't know if they're together at this point, to be honest with you.
Interesting. Maybe that's why she came back after the lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, you want to try anything again? Brock. Oh, okay, right.
So I'd like to just reiterate John Cena's final line. Big Show, you're a giant, and I'm a giant whistle, so go ahead and blow me. I'm trying to remember who else was on Team Angle. Oh, yeah, the APA.
Was it both the APA?
Yeah, both members of the APA.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I thought it was both of them. Must just be Bradshaw.
If they come out separately, stop the music and start it again.
Hard seeing Bradshaw as a face.
It's weird seeing him as a face with short hair.
You're not very far from the heel turn. Oh, yeah. Should have known it was Hardcore Holly.
Should have known it was Hardcore Holly.
Wait.
Oh, it's Brock.
Yes.
It's the broken neck,
This
isn't
was
it?
when he first
yeah,
came back after the broken neck.
Okay.
And full disclosure, the reason I chose this pay-per-view in particular is that I've got a real soft spot for this pay-per-view. It's my sister's favourite pay-per-view of all time. And I've watched it a lot.
I've never seen it yet. I know all members of Team Lesnar. How? I must have seen it.
Well, you're a big fan of Matt Morgan. You know a fair bit about Nathan Jones, and the other three are pretty well established.
I've seen more Nathan Jones films than I have Nathan Jones
He's
matches.
a very famous stuntman, isn't he?
He just appears in loads of films. No, he was in Fury Road.
Oh, yeah. Didn't have a lot of room to work with here, because you've got the ambulance on the one side, and then you've got a digger next to the mound of dirt.
Look at the size of that belt on Big Show. It just comes out. Tiny little belt. Big Show looking his best.
Yeah, not the Big Show's best, is it?
Oh, God. I was A-Train.
Yeah.
Going by. Yeah, okay. God, he's in odd shape, isn't he?
Always been a big man.
Do you remember his name in Japan?
Oh, I should have done, but I don't.
Giant Bernard.
Was it really?
Yeah, he was massive out there. Massive star.
So this is when they were trying to get both Jones and Morgan over. And they just weren't clicking. Like, I believe this is following WrestleMania 19, which is when Nathan Jones was supposed to tag team with The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And they had to pull him because he was just shit.
I don't know how they got Matt Morgan wrong.
They just didn't see anything in him. This is way before he was in TNA, though.
I mean, yeah, they've made him seem very bland here. It's when he went over to TNA and he slimmed down a bit, realised, this guy can actually move.
Mm-hmm.
He can talk. I don't understand.
You want to talk about guys that can move? Go for Brock Lesnar. See, look at Holly's face at the sight of Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I've seen the powerbomb a few times. It's a hard watch.
This is
because Lesnar just drops him.
This is literally the first time they meet after Holly's injury.
Oh, there we go. How many of them do you think are real?
I don't know how pissed he actually is. So I don't know the ins and outs of it. I just know it's a storyline thing.
Yeah, Hardcore Holly's a weird one because he
can't say much more about him though. He's gone, disqualified.
Okay, well I guess there's no need to say any more about him.
Man's pushed a referee, so gone.
Fair enough. Because he was known for like bullying all the new starters, wasn't he?
He was in that crowd. Yeah, he was one of 3 people that beat the hell out of Daniel Puter in the Rumble.
Yeah.
So
imagine, we got a load of new starters are coming in. Holly's like, right, good. This is my time to shine. And Lesnar walks in. You'd be like, oh, my arm hurts a bit today. I think.
I think we'll leave it.
Maybe not. Wait, what?
Yeah, Bradshaw's just pinned A-Train. Just threw him a clothesline from hell out of nowhere.
Jesus. Oh, I see where this is going. Okay, there's fast eliminations, is there?
To start with, yeah.
Oh, so this is around the time when no one was picking up Big Show.
Oh, yeah. Bet you can guess who took the title off him.
Was it Cena?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next Mania. By picking him up.
Is that when the spinnabout came?
Yeah, immediately after he won it, yeah.
Hmm.
No, that was the US title. His was the year after that.
Okay, right.
Because JBL was champion at that point.
God, it's weird seeing Brock sell, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. he would, to be fair, around this time he would sell a lot. He was very good at that kind of thing.
I've not watched a Lesnar match from this era for a long time.
Like pre-2012.
Yeah, I'm used to seeing like current day.
Well, I mean, Lesnar would be out of the company about 6 months after this, so...
Do we get must do a Benoit and Lesnar sort of mini match in this?
I think so.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember many of the matchups here.
Look at that ref. Looks like a child.
Next to those 5 big men, yeah.
I mean, they're all like 7 foot tall, aren't they? They're all...
Lesnar's the only one that's not.
Yeah, Lesnar looks small over there, but he's probably stronger than all of them put together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Morgan didn't know whether to sell that or not, did he? He just...
Got the missed leg drop,
Yeah.
It's a very high-octane match between these these 10. Although we're down to 8 at this point.
Nathan Jones doesn't move like a normal person.
There's a lot of muscle to manoeuvre, that's why.
He kind of moves like... I know you're not that familiar with Dave Taylor, are you?
Mm-mm.
But he just...
Right.
Same as Albert. Albert moves like that as well.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Nearly a ton.
So I was trying to listen to what Big Show was saying. It sounded like he was singing a nursery rhyme.
God, imagine him having to sing you to sleep.
He'd probably rock you, wouldn't he? He's that big.
There you go. Here's your Benoit Lesnar mini match.
Nice.
I don't know how long it lasts, but you get it.
Facing Benoit at this time, you'd look at him and just go, no. he just doesn't stop.
Yeah. Well, they didn't call him the Rabid Wolverine for nothing at this time.
The Rumble that he won.
That's the next Rumble. 2 months after this.
Remember, because he's in it from the start.
He's number 1.
And there's a bit in it where Orton comes in. And they have like sort of a mini match, and then the match continues, and Orton's sat in the corner at one point, and Benoit's just looking for someone to fight. Yeah, he goes goes over to Orton, and Orton goes. You see him go like this, as if to say, "Oh, I'm catching my breath." Benoit's just like, "Someone fight me!"
I thought he just gave him a stomp. He was just walking around whenever someone was sat in the corner. Just, take that.
Catch your breath.
How about I knock it out of you?
I know Benoit was a big guy, but like he does look like a little kid next to Big Show, doesn't he?
Who didn't though, really?
Yeah.
Got him down with a crossface though. Yeah, ref, you don't stop Lesnar coming in, but you stop Angle coming in.
Yeah,
that's what
I know he just kicked him, but
no, you don't.
Oh,
that's an abdominal stretch.
That's a win. Okay.
From Big Show to Benoit.
It looks like it's hurting Show more because he's like bent over trying to do it. He's like, God, my lower back's
you're so small.
me.
There you go. Nathan Jones is helping though.
Was he always thinning on top, Benoit?
I've never noticed.
No, I didn't either.
I've never thought to look at the top of his head.
Yeah. I forgot he did that. Was it called The Final Cut?
Yeah,
something
actually
like that?
It was. I would never have remembered that.
Weird. Not that many signs in the crowd, is there? I was trying to look for
there wasn't
them,
a lot in the Ruthless Aggression era, I don't think. Because the Attitude Era died down a bit. Maybe they were clamping down on signs at this point, I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe was this the sort of gearing towards PG?
Or maybe they were saving it for different matches.
Yeah, maybe. You know, with Attitude Era, people were bringing signs like "fuck my ass" and stuff, just for like be like, no, none of that. We're going PG. We're going PG. You can't be trusted, so we're taking it all off you.
It must have been horrible to be in that crowd. You won't be able to see a thing.
God, yeah. I mean, I'm quite short anyway, so I struggle at like gigs and things anyway. But saying that, I think I'm as tall as Benoit was.
I don't know how tall he was. I can't lie to you.
5'8", 5'7", 5'8", 5'9".
Hard to tell with this gang of people around him.
I know, yeah. 2 foot.
He's just a baby. As wrestling goes, if there's one man you want in the ring to train the likes of Matt Morgan and Nathan Jones, you could do a lot worse than the likes of like Benoit and Angle.
Morgan just fell right on Benoit's leg, and you see Morgan like tap him on the back as if to say sorry. I think it really hurt Benoit. Look, I mean Morgan's a big guy. His weight coming down on you.
Yeah, you don't want that. No, thank you. I don't know where this stands.
Yeah, look, Benoit's like resting his leg. I think
he's
really
been in the match for a
him.
while as well. Oh, it's all falling apart. Everyone's after everybody. Angle slam to Morgan.
See, they'd fight quite a lot in TNA, so that's an interesting little matchup.
And Morgan's out. Nathan Jones kind of missed his cue a bit there. He was in the ring during the count and didn't do anything. So this goes by, as very typically as Survivor Series matches go. You get an elimination or two early on, then a real quiet time of nothing, and then a bunch of eliminations real quickly. It's because now Nathan Jones has tapped at the ankle lock.
That's not how you build a monster, is it? Make him tap out. That's weird.
They were still relatively new, as I said. They weren't going to beat Angle. But Lesnar's just eliminated Angle.
I suppose if you're going to tap to anyone...
Oh, yeah.
Probably the best ever's.
So now we are down to Lesnar and Big Show and Benoit and Cena. Can't imagine a time where one F5 would end a match.
No.
It's hard to imagine, isn't it?
It's weird as well. I don't think I've seen Lesnar do a German suplex yet.
No, he didn't really do that until 2012. It wasn't really part of his moveset.
God, Benoit's chops look like they really hurt, don't they?
He's always been good at them.
He really throws himself into it.
Well, you were talking about how he's relentless, so
yeah.
We can't be surprised that any move he does isn't 110%.
Speaking of chops, did you see what Gunther said about who's got the hardest chops?
No, I don't think I did.
Penta.
Really?
Yeah. He said
maybe the gloves?
He said Penta's chops. Don't know what it is. But he said Mexican wrestlers, they chop overhand as well. It's not like... They don't go sideways, it's like overhand, but he said for some reason Penta did like one chop and it cut him open on the chest.
He must be doing something.
Yeah. And if Gunther's telling you chop hard...
yeah, then you chop fucking hard. It's not something you associate Penta with either, really.
No. No, next Penta match I watch, I'm going to look out for it.
Definitely. Benoit's got Lesnar at a crossface here. Bearing in mind, Lesnar's the WWE champion at this point as well.
I was literally just about to ask, yeah.
But there you go, Lesnar taps. Big Show is all on his own against Cena and Benoit.
What are they chanting?
You tapped out.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, thanks, Cole.
There you go.
As soon as I asked...
I shouldn't have said anything. Michael Cole's got me covered.
Is that Jesse Ventura on commentary?
Cena's hit Big Show with the chain.
Oh, for the chain gang.
Yes. Added FU to the Big Show. I stand corrected.
Yeah. You could see no one was picking the Big Show up at that time.
So the fact that Cena did it was a big deal.
Then the crowd all just stood up, yeah. I mean, that's Big Show at its heaviest.
He was 500 pounds at this point. There you go. There's more signs now. They were just chilling out for the actual match.
Why does he look so surprised?
He's so proud of himself.
Saying there's no signs. Someone's put so much effort into that
rotating hand over Cena's face. I don't know why. In my mind, I thought there was a Sole Survivor in this one, but I guess not.
There's that Stone Cold sign that keeps coming up in the background. It's got like light bulbs around it. It's like LEDs on it.
Well, we will see him later.
I mean, it sounds like a really stupid thing to say because picking Big Show up does look like it's a struggle. But when he picked him up, you saw like every muscle in his core just go. It's like, oh my god.
We are now backstage with Vince and Shane, who between them are going to take on the Brothers of Destruction later tonight in 2 separate matches.
God, those ceiling tiles are all over the place, aren't they? That one's coming up.
It's a locker room. Who knows what they've been doing to them?
Yeah, it's probably a... Well, Hardcore Hollywood have got changed, and there's probably a couple of new starters tied up and hog-tied in the ceiling. We'll leave them there. Teach them a lesson. Shane's just looking at him going,
What the fuck are you talking about?
What? This is really weird. Whose jeans do you think they are there?
Dusty's.
Dusty?
Yeah, fuck you, Vince. Shane just says he feels sorry for Vince. I don't blame him. If he's got to take on Undertaker in a Buried Alive match.
I mean, this was stupid. I just noticed the door said Shane McMahon, so they're Shane McMahon's jeans, aren't they? It's obviously his dressing room. Is he going to say what I think he's going to say?
No. So Vince has ran into Stone Cold backstage. And all Stone Cold can do is laugh. Because he knows what's coming to Vince.
Oh, he's going to do it.
No, he's not.
Is he not?
I remember this program.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Oh, it's so good.
Without saying a word, those two can tell a 1,000-word story.
Oh, so good, isn't it?
Look who it is. It's Lita.
What did that say?
It said, "Take me to your Lita." How long do you think it took him to come up with that one?
So, 2003.
Mm-hmm. Still with Matt at this point.
I was trying to... who the title is. Who's got the women's title?
Oh, they showed it in the Titantron just behind Lita, so I'm surprised you didn't see.
Oh, did they?
Mm. It's Molly Holly.
This should be a good match then, I think.
I don't really remember it, but I'm sure it's good. This is pre-shaven head, Molly Holly.
Yeah, I was going to ask where that was in the...
I think it was the next Mania.
Okay.
It happened. What are you talking about, JR?
Sweeter than Granny's apple butter, did he say?
Yeah, she's no longer sweeter than Granny's apple butter.
What is what?
I don't know.
Yeah,
best not to ask.
Yeah. Why did Charles Robinson fold it up so small?
Maybe he's afraid of dropping it. I don't know. He's always done that, though.
Lita's really over.
She always was.
I'm shocked. They've both got really weird wrestling attire. I don't...
Go on.
I mean, Molly Holly looks like she's going to attend a business meeting.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And Lita...
Looks like she's about to attend a festival?
Yeah, it just looks really generic for Lita. I seem to remember it being a bit more...
Go on, find that word, because I want to know what this word is.
Like fitting for a character. Like, because that looks like something that any female wrestler would wear.
I don't know.
Because she was really unique for the time.
Bearing in mind she was previously associated with the Hardys, like the sleeves make sense. Because it's very Jeff Hardy, and the vest is fishnet.
Yeah.
So it's tame by her standards, I'll grant you that.
Yeah.
But no, there's still definitely something there.
I mean, it's not a pantsuit, is it?
No. It's not Molly Holly's pantsuit, that's for sure. So it's like she should be in right to censor.
Oh, it was Ivory.
Yeah. Took you a second. I knew you'd think. To be honest, I remember it being Victoria, but it was Ivory.
I had to think then. Victoria had a thing with Stevie Richards.
That might be why.
Yeah, they were on screen partners for a bit. That's such a good gimmick. They're getting stole from ECW.
Mm-hmm.
Stole from Don Callis, of all people. Because he was Cyrus.
Cyrus
The Virus.
Yeah.
That's it.
The mouthpiece of TNN. Was it TNN?
It was the network.
Yeah, but
they just called him the network.
But it was supposed to represent TNN.
Yeah. He was the network representative, I think they called him.
Which translated to no fucking fun.
Yeah. It's such a good idea, though,
yeah.
isn't it? Because Right to Censor was born from that as well.
See, I was thinking about this the other day while I was editing the last episode that we did, which was an ECW show. I feel like there was definitely possibility for a character like a not straight edge per se, but like very anti-ECW to get over in ECW, like a Danhausen. Because he had a very big no swearing thing. That was a big part of his gimmick.
Mick Foley had a gimmick where he was anti-hardcore match.
There you go.
It was in a feud with Tommy Dreamer. He basically turned himself heel by going against hardcore matches.
But
and
I feel
it was like, don't hurt yourself for these people. They'll give you nothing.
Okay, that makes sense. But I'm talking about like getting that over as a face. I feel like there was still potential to make that work.
Okay.
Obviously, the ECW crowd are rabid.
Yeah.
So it would be difficult, but I definitely would have thought it'd be possible.
I was trying to think of someone on the ECW roster that could have done that. But the ECW fans were they were like smart fans before smart fans. So
Yeah.
they would boo the bad guys and they would cheer the good guys.
That's what I mean.
Because that's what the wrestling company wanted you to do.
I see. But like, if you think of AEW fans now, it's like almost the opposite.
Yeah.
Because they're smart fans. It's just, I don't know if it's because the way the landscape has shifted, but I feel like ECW had the potential to have that.
I see what you mean, yeah. What were we saying about this match being good? It's, yeah.
Very standard fare. Mind you, Lita hasn't done her death-defying moonsault yet, where she nearly breaks her bloody neck all the time.
God, it just makes you realise that women's wrestling's come such a long way, isn't it?
Yeah, we're over 20 years removed from this, and it's, chalk and cheese.
I mean, around the time, I seem to remember that there were a few women that could go in the ring, and it was like Molly was one, Lita was one.
Yeah,
Victoria could go.
Trish could go. Not quite to the level of those women you've listed, but Trish could definitely go.
Yeah.
Victoria was around this time.
Yeah, I was trying to think. But yeah, there was a few that were like just in the wrong era, I think. Gail Kim. Gail Kim.
We always use Gail Kim as the prime example of that.
Gail Kim was 20 years too early, I think. Or was she, though? Because without Gail Kim doing it in that time, there might not have been younger wrestlers that were watching at the time and going, oh my God, women can actually wrestle. And that spurred on a new sort of generation.
I'm trying to remember who else was around at this time. I feel like both Keibler and Candice Michelle were around at this time. Keibler definitely was. Because she was assigned with Scott Steiner at the time. Yeah. What?
I know. Yeah, there was a story. There was a storyline where.
But I think it was this time. Oh my God, Lita missed that moonsault.
Where it was Test and Steiner, wasn't it? That were basically just bullying her, and it was horrible. It was horrible.
No, I think at this point she was Scott's valet.
Oh my God, I forgot that was her
the Molly
finisher.
go round.
Jesus Christ.
Lita kicked out of the Molly go round though. Did Molly kiss her own arm? What is that? She's got lipstick on her wrist.
I don't know. That Molly go round looked terrifying. Did it always look that scary?
I barely remember it. It must have been.
Oh, Chekhov's turnbuckle.
Oh, and there it is. Lita's mouth hits the exposed turnbuckle, and that'll do it. Marley Holly retains. Very typical of women's matches at the time. Short.
Yeah, did nothing out of the ordinary.
Not sweet, but you get my point.
Perfectly serviceable match.
Yeah, definitely. Let's watch the video package for this, shall we? And go see your electric balls.
Unmasked Kane.
Yeah, I think he's only 3 months removed from not having the mask.
Because he's still got some of the makeup on. Oh my God. Yeah. I don't remember that at all.
I will admit, 11-year-old me was fucking terrified of Kane at this time.
I think it helps with the fact that he's a really interesting looking guy as well. He doesn't just look like... If we go back to the first match he doesn't look like a Matt Morgan. Matt Morgan looks like...
Yeah.
Because if you'd have took the mask off and there'd just be someone quite generic looking. I mean, the lack of eyebrows and facial hair and stuff obviously helps quite a lot.
Yeah, the one contact helps.
Yeah.
But Shane and Kane got up to some antics in this feud. There were some really great segments.
It's interesting that... How long did Kane wrestle with a mask up? There it is, electric balls.
There's your electric balls. He debuted in 97 and then lost the mask in 2003. So 6 years.
So it's almost on the same level as like Sami Zayn, El Generico, like wrestled for a very long period of time in a mask, and then gets like as soon as the mask comes off, it's all facial expressions, and it's. I mean, it's different for Kane because obviously he wrestled quite a lot of his career without, like before Kane as well. It was Isaac Yankem and Diesel.
And the Christmas Creature.
And the Unabomber.
Yeah.
That's going back.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, El Generico wrestled for a very, very long time without a mask. And I remember when they signed him and it was a big deal, like... they're going to take his mask off.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, how is he going to cope with this?
And he did fine.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue he's one of the best at getting sympathy from the crowd. He's one of the best natural baby faces.
Yeah. That ambulance was dangerously close to that pyro.
Yeah.
Did not like that one bit.
It reversed a little bit, didn't it?
Yep.
Stay back 500 feet.
That's a lot of feet.
He's obviously been watching his Taz matches. He's got the...
This was his response to not having the mask for some reason, was just to come down to the ring, hooded. Just a flannel over his head. Side note as well, I bloody love this song. This is my favourite Kane theme by a long way. Slow Chemical by Finger 11 is the band.
Finger 11? Mirrors Fear Kane.
That's great. Well, they don't want to crack.
Did he always have like the front part of his head shaved?
Yeah. I think he had like the receding hairline, so when he took the mask off for the first time, he had quite a bit of hair on the back, and it only made him look scarier, and then he shaved it. So it's just the remnants of the shaving that you're seeing there.
Because it looks quite deliberate. It looks like it's quite a sharp line. Like a skullet. That's a tough spot to be in, isn't it? Especially at like this time.
What do you mean?
You've got an untrained wrestler in... Oh my God, did Kane just land on his head?
Almost.
You've got an untrained wrestler, and you've got to think, like, I've really got to look after this guy because that's the boss's son.
I take umbrage with the term untrained. His match...
Unexperienced, yeah. That was a...
His King of the Ring match with Kurt Angle was like 3 years before this. Where he got thrown through the glass.
Yeah.
And then at SummerSlam 2000, I think, was Steve Blackman, where he jumped off the Titantron.
Mm-hmm.
So, he knows what he's doing.
That's...
Not doing anything.
Hurting his ears more than anything, yeah.
It's hurting my ears. Stop it, Shane.
I know a lot of people used to say about Shane's punches.
Yeah.
Because they were just all over the place. And you just have to sit there and take it because it's the boss's son. Except for if you're Chris Jericho.
Yeah, he didn't take him very well, did he? But I think Shane actually got him pretty good. That's why. Rung his bell a bit.
Have you seen Jericho tell the story? That he gave him a missile drop kick, didn't he? And he fully gave him a missile drop kick.
Like, slow down.
Yeah. I
think that was a Survivor Series match.
But Jericho would stand up to anyone. Like, he just wasn't scared of...
Yeah, the man stood up to Goldberg.
Goldberg, Lesnar.
Yeah.
Lesnar was... it was after the Orton match, wasn't it? When he came back and...
Jericho obviously didn't know whether that was supposed to happen or not, if Lesnar had just gone into business for himself.
I can't quite remember if it was supposed to be or not, but it was supposed to look like Orton was busted open hard way, wasn't it? Because it was the elbows.
But he was busted open hard way.
Yeah, I can't remember whether it was supposed to happen or not.
I think it was, but nobody had approved it. I don't know if Vince had, to be honest. And Jericho, as he tells the story, he just got up in Lesnar's face and was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
Lesnar, I think, threw out a homophobic slur. I think pretended to kiss him, and they were nose to nose. And Jericho says in the interview, said, the only thing I remember thinking was, he's probably going to kill me if I kick this off, but I'm going to bite his fucking nose off and he'll have to live with no nose. I'll be dead, but he'll have no fucking nose.
I mean, you got to hand it to Jericho, haven't you?
Feet's cut. Because Shane and Kane have gone to the back and they're struggling to keep track of him.
I was trying to work out whether that was like legit or not.
No, it was an accident. But Shane's luring Kane backstage.
What is it with Kane and cutting the feed to things? No, was he part of that?
Yeah,
match
he was part of that triple threat.
Yeah, Raven nearly drove into the fuse box or something, didn't he?
Raven, Kane, and Big Show.
Speaking of Kanes, Shane is going to town
with Singapore Kane.
Oh, look at the marks on Kane's back.
Yeah, they've turned up immediately. He ain't working that.
I thought he was going to smack him right on the ass.
So did I, but no, back of the legs. Which might be worse.
Yeah.
It's fine, he's going to try and kill him now. Shane getting into a vehicle.
Did he have a walkie-talkie in his
Yeah,
hand?
he did. Reversing into Kane. Actually reversed into Kane. Oh, I see how they worked that. I didn't realise whenever I watched it beforehand. So he reverses into the concrete barrier that's there, and I think Kane just jumps over.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, you can see yeah.
See, I thought he genuinely did get hit.
Yeah, I did. Fair enough.
Shane calling for an ambulance to come down.
Is that how ambulance matches work?
As long as they get in the ambulance, it doesn't matter.
500 feet, Shane. Stay back. No, that's a stretcher match. That's what we were saying about how inexperienced he is. Look. God's sake.
Are you trying to drag that 300-pound man, Shane? Are you insane?
He's more than that, surely.
320, I think he was built at, yeah. But, I mean, 300's enough.
Because he's tall. And he's not just tall, like he's big. Kane was no pun intended, he was a monster, wasn't he?
Yes. One of the strongest men ever in WWE as well.
I mean, it's weird that it took him 3 gimmicks to get it right.
Works that way sometimes. Now you know it's not fakes because the feed's gone again.
The crowd are really booing, aren't they? It's that guy just running out of shot.
Do you want to get anywhere near Kane? I fucking don't.
Nope.
Especially this Kane.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel if I went to a wrestling show and they went backstage. I feel a bit cheated, really.
Felt different the only time I ever saw that happen because it was at All In. Because you had like 5 different matches going on all around, so there was always something to see.
Oh, that was the...
yeah, Anarchy in the Arena match, yeah. What were you slapping the ambulance for, Kane?
I thought you just punched the... Yeah, what was that? Oh, I think he knocked a mirror off so he could throw Shane into it.
And I don't know if that was real glass deal with it, but it's cracked.
That was so weird, because you said that, it showed the cracked windscreen, and I could have sworn the crowd were chanting CM Punk. I was like... What's happening? This pay-per-view is working on a higher level than I can keep up with. We've broken the 4th, 5th, 6th walls here.
That's a lot of walls. Who are you, Chris Jericho? You're breaking down the walls, are you?
Just the walls of Jericho.
Baby! Oh my God! Shane swings the door into Kane's head and he's bleeding from his head. My
Is it going to show that again?
Yeah, they are.
Oh
Fucking hell.
My God. You reckon Shane did that and then just went, whoops?
I think his shoulder took some of that, but still.
You saw his head just go.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wouldn't want to see that in slow motion.
Yeah, he's checking for blood and all sorts, isn't he? Right, you got to look for receipts now. Hits him with the door again. Kane's like,
oh,
I
for fuck's sake.
swear to God. I swear to God. If there isn't a very obvious receipt in this, Kane is one of the most professional men they've ever had. Oh, was that supposed to happen off the ambulance?
No, I don't think so. That's fine. This is a Shane McMahon match after all. You know what's coming.
Oh, what was that kick? For God's sake. That's like how you kick a football to a toddler.
There you go, Timmy.
Guys, Kane's head made of like...
Must be. I think he still thinks he's got the mask on.
We obviously know that thing's not very heavy. You just dropped it on his leg.
So Shane put in one of the production boxes. Definitely not made of cardboard.
Is he going to do what I think he's going to do?
Yes, he's doing exactly what you think he's going to do. I told you it's a Shane McMahon match. What do you expect? Shane McMahon is climbing on top of the ambulance and does a coast to coast onto Kane.
Hell. Was that like a cardboard box?
Yeah, it's not cardboard. I specifically said it's not cardboard.
Man.
It's not even full of anything by the looks of it.
It doesn't, does it? It just looks like he just hit the floor.
You'd want to fill that with something, wouldn't you?
Yeah, say what you want about Shane. He's up straight away afterwards. Like.
Because he landed on cardboard. Look at Kane's head, man.
I've just noticed in the back of the ambulance, they just look like there's a TV with like a fireplace on it.
Is there? I didn't see it. Oh no, it's the Titantron through the front window. But I can see why you thought that.
Yeah, it was just like the perfect spot.
To be fair, that doesn't look like an ambulance. That looks like a sauna. Tell me that doesn't look like a sauna.
Yeah.
Oh god, now they're both in the ambulance.
Here's the receipt. You just see Shane's head come out the glass.
I don't think he gets a receipt, you know.
Saying that, Shane doesn't have a very good track record with glass, does he? He's mentioned the angle match.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's already cracked the back of his head on that fucking windshield. You can't win with glass.
Is the receipt. He throws him into the ambulance, but through the side of the ambulance. Bang! See, that's weird, because I know that hurts. You know that hurts. Doesn't look like it hurt.
No, it doesn't, but he did drop him on the concrete. Bet that hurt. Shane just struggling to breathe.
They do a really good job of making Shane, like, could feasibly beat Kane in this, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Like,
I will tell you something, though. If I was Shane McMahon, the last thing I would do, work or no work, is put my head near the back wheel of an ambulance. Absolutely not. One faulty handbrake and I'm fucked.
Yeah, any, like, given opportunity, Kane is all over Shane, isn't he?
Well, he's meant to literally be billed as a monster.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they were going to do that.
God, I miss when Kane did, like, tombstones like that. He always did it really quick.
Yeah.
I think when he first debuted, he jumped and did them, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. I remember seeing... I think he did one to Vader like that. Yeah, he's definitely done a tombstone bar driver to Vader. But there we go. After the tombstone, onto the concrete. Kane pops Shane in the ambulance. No problem.
Kane's like, what are you doing? Reversing. How did they get it in there? Oh, I suppose through the curtains. I guess.
They'd have found a way. Okay. Bye, Shane. Backstage with... Remind me. What's his name? Josh Matthews?
Josh Matthews.
Josh Matthews and Brock Lesnar.
With his frosted tips. When is this?
Where?
This isn't 90s. He's even got like the 90s like surfer wooden beads.
We're still edging out of the 90s though. And Lesnar's in denial.
God, Brock shouldn't have been cutting promos really, should he?
This is not a bad promo.
It's not a bad promo, but his voice just does not suit him.
That's fine. We've got the perfect counter to Brock Lesnar.
Oh, God.
That's a precursor for things to come, isn't it? Bill Goldberg comes out and confronts him.
What's Josh Matthews' face like?
Wouldn't you be?
He looks like...
I think that's just fear.
I don't know what he looks like. Oh, because it was Mania 2004, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, God. Is this Jonathan Coachman?
It's Jonathan Coachman. Neck brace and all. Who hurt him? Stone Cold.
Probably a lot of people.
Well, if rumours are to be believed. I think this is the Stone Cold stuff because obviously the gimmick at the moment is that as co-GM he couldn't hurt anybody unless he was hit first. So I think Coachman touched him accidentally and that was enough for it to be worth hitting him.
What did that sign say? Coach, guess where your mic's going?
He knows. He already knows.
I can tell you which direction as well. Sideways. I like the way coach is underlined as well. Just to get they put coach. There's probably a few coaches. Oh yeah, we'll underline it so he knows. The coach. The coach always looked like Craig David.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is it the backwards flat cap?
It's the little sort of pencil goatee he's got as well.
Oh, it's the Dudleys that injured him.
Is that it? Is that
Glad you came, Coach.
That's literally it.
I think...
Oh, hang on.
Is it... So, Coach has spotted someone in the crowd. If I remember rightly, I think it's Mark Cuban.
Okay.
Billionaire Mark Cuban.
That guy's yeeting. What's happening in this pay-per-view?
It is Mark Cuban.
Okay, I don't
Billionaire football team owner Mark Cuban. He invites Mark to the ring after insulting him.
That guy's a billionaire.
Yeah.
In the ill-fitting T-shirt.
Yeah.
There he is.
Is Eric Bischoff. So, if I remember rightly, Eric invites Mark to the ring, and he's got a surprise for Mark. I can't remember 100% who it is, but I think I can guess.
I always like watching celebrities get in the ring because they don't know how to do it.
They never know how to do it.
They always look really awkward. You've told me that fact before, haven't you, about like millionaires and billionaires being over a certain height.
Yeah.
How
CEOs
tall is
in
Mark
particular.
Cuban there?
CEOs tend to be 6'2".
Because he's towering over Bischoff.
So he's probably about 6'2". So Bischoff essentially says he's going to kick out Mark Cuban. And provokes him. But Cuban pushes him onto his ass.
It always makes me laugh because Bischoff was pretty legit, wasn't he? He had like a black belt in karate.
Gets an RKO for his trouble.
I mean, takes a decent RKO as well, to be fair. I don't remember that pairing at all.
He's on Team Bischoff later tonight.
Right.
Didn't you ever wish you were in Evolution, Jack?
What, so I could see Triple H take his top off?
Well, yeah. That too.
So was...
In kayfabe, he's still married to Stephanie as well.
Oh, was, yeah.
Yeah.
Was Orton in...
Yeah.
He was at this point.
Yeah, because Batista was the last person to join Evolution.
Yeah, because it was originally Mark Jindrak.
Don't think so.
Because they even shot some footage, didn't they?
The only thing I remember is the storyline was that Evolution put a bounty on Goldberg's head. So the first person to injure him got $100,000. And it was Batista that did it. And he joined Evolution as a result.
Because Batista, when you think about it, really made a career out of like exceeding expectations.
Yeah, I mean, look at there. He looks a little bit lost there.
Well, he hadn't been wrestling that long at all, had he? Like, he started in the business late.
Yeah.
Became really successful. Evolution was built to make Orton successful. It made Batista successful.
Yeah.
He went into Hollywood and became really successful when people said he wouldn't. I really like Batista. I'm talking myself into really liking Batista right now.
You've always loved Batista. We have video evidence of you celebrating his entrance.
It's so
feel
hot.
better?
It's so hot in this room. It's so hot in this room.
I
It is
stand
the
corrected,
Basham
it is the
brothers then,
Bashams.
isn't
And then it's Los Guerreros, I believe they face. And Shaniqua and her whip.
So because they, you know what?
Don't ask questions. Don't ask questions.
I don't remember this gimmick at all because it's.
Well, where Shaniqua was their dominatrix.
Yeah. Because it's very.
Could you tell me another Basham Brothers gimmick? No.
just plain generic bald men.
Your brothers.
It's very. I just completely blanked their name. Oh my god. They had the tag team record until the New Day broke it.
Oh.
What?
Demolition?
Demolition. Yeah. Completely blanking their name. It's very. Oh, get over that hill there.
Yeah, be careful, Eddie.
All right, go on xxxwheels.com.
I don't think I will.
Yeah, I'm not either. That's a Godfather on the back.
Yeah, it did. It also said Hot Wheels. It's when spinning rims were a fad.
Well, this is around the time where Pimp My Ride was at its peak,
That's what I was
wasn't
going
it?
to say.
Yeah.
We're in peak Pimp My Ride times. Do you ever know the story of the production of that stuff? They pretty much gutted the cars after they were finished.
Yeah, but
so they filmed it and then, alright, we're taking all this fucking stuff back. Here's your car. So you just came with a shell at the end.
I mean, it's probably... I mean, trying to get through an MOT with a fish tank in your boot, like, be an absolute nightmare.
What's this here? That's my $20,000 surround sound system.
Yeah.
Failed. Too much weight on the rear suspension.
Yeah. Your left indicator isn't working. Yeah, but are all the LCD screens underneath? Are they okay?
Yeah, they're fine.
Jesus Christ.
Your indicators are red.
Yeah,
I like red. Well, I hope you like the red on this fucking form.
Oh, man. Who was Shaniqua? I don't remember her,
Don't know.
at
She
all.
kind of disappeared after the Bashams
'Cause-
dropped her.
That's a hell of a physique she's got.
I don't know a damn thing about Shaniqua.
I can see this match being not the most exciting thing, so I'm going to look it up.
I mean, Eddie's a good reason to watch.
Yeah.
But you know there won't be any Eddie antics for a little while. I believe there's only 3 matches after this one.
I'm trying not to look at what's
Shaniqua.
coming up. Shaniqua.
She won Tough Enough.
Yeah, came from Tough Enough.
Trained by Chavo.
Oh, God.
As you flick through that, the only thing I saw was breast implants. Don't know why. That was the only thing I saw as you were scrolling through it.
Shaniqua, Donna.
Dominatrix.
Oh, why
That's a great name for a
Dominatrix.
female wrestler. That's got to exist.
Donna Matrix. I mean, apparently, all it says here, she was hit with a clothesline from hell, put her out of action for several weeks.
Well, she just gave a clothesline from hell to Eddie.
Oh, here
She's
we
beating
go.
the shit out of Eddie.
Upon Shaniqua's return, she had breast implants that were explained via storyline as permanent swelling from the clothesline from hell. Oh, man.
Wrestling's fucking nuts, isn't it?
She's tall as well, isn't she? I know she's got heels on, but... Yeah, she should have done more looking at her. I imagine you get her in the ring and it was like wrestling a mattress.
I'm sure Vince was quite high on her.
Yeah.
Which Basham brothers is that, Jack?
Doug.
I don't know.
I was going to say, if I say it confidently, you're not going to be able to prove me wrong, are you?
No. Yeah, I have no idea which one's which.
I don't think we're going to find out either.
No.
It's probably because I doubt the commentators know either.
Yeah. Familiarity can fix that, though. Like, when Jay and Jimmy first turned up, we didn't have a clue which one was which, and now we could definitely tell which one's which.
Yeah. I mean, you say that, but
No,
if I see pictures of them as, like, original Usos...
I think I can tell.
It takes me a good... I have to look at it for a little bit.
No, I reckon I can tell pretty quickly.
Before I can figure it out. You reckon?
You want to test
All right,
it?
yeah, I do. I do want to test it. I'm going to test it. I don't even know what to search for. I was going to search for the Usos.
Just
and
the
see what
Usos.
happens.
Find a picture that you think is tricky, and I will figure it out. But you've got to be able to know which one's which. That's the thing. That's Jay, that's Jimmy.
Yeah, I would have said the same. Jimmy looks more... Jimmy looks like Jimmy, but Jay doesn't look like Jay. Does that make sense?
Well, if you've done that, you've done it backwards, because I think the one on the left is Jay.
You think this is Jay? I thought it was Jimmy.
Oh, here we go.
So I'm gonna... Yeah, that's Jay there, look. Answers on a postcard.
Let us know in the comments if that's Jay and that's Jimmy, or that's Jay and that's Jimmy. Fuck me.
See, that's an easy one.
Yeah. Jay's on the right. Yeah?
Yeah, that's Jay.
Yeah.
I can't believe managed. Yeah, that's a tough one as well.
No, Jay's on the right.
You reckon? Oh,
Jimmy's always had the wider face. That's normally the giveaway for me. I'm so sure that's Jay on the left, you know.
That?
Yeah.
Nah, I reckon that's Jimmy.
I reckon that's Jay.
Hang on, we can do this by tattoos, can't we? So, more Japanese. He's got a koi on his... Right, okay.
Left arm.
Okay. As if we're having to analyse...
Well, it proves how wrong I was, because it wasn't that easy. You got to look at one of them. You just got to just look at one of them.
That's Jay.
No.
You reckon that's Jimmy?
Yes.
You reckon that's Jay?
I think so.
Oh, man. I don't know.
You got to look up just one of them. This match is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. So, Jimmy Uso.
And then see if you can get a pick with the... Oh, fucking hell, Chavo's spanking Shaniqua.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah, he's got the
yeah.
It's mostly black.
And the other one? Yeah, they've been covered, that's why.
Oh, fucking hell.
This is what happens when you cover up your sleeves, Jack.
Yeah, you end up with a black arm.
That was Jay.
Yeah, Jay's got the koi, look.
There you go. I think you were right.
That's a good guess, wasn't it? 50-50 chance. Might buy a lottery.
Always 50-50.
Might buy a lottery ticket tonight.
Basham's retained, by the way.
Oh, yeah, there's a match. Right, which one's Doug and which one's Danny?
No, let's not.
I wouldn't want to see photos of them together.
I can only be wrong so many times before it hurts my ego. How do you know that's Danny, Mike? I think Danny's the one that looks a bit like Vincent D'Onofrio.
God.
Well, that really scrunched up, rounded face.
What era Vincent D'Onofrio are we
Current
talking?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh, Kingpin Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I was going to say, like, Hawkeye Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or that bloke who was in the Shield, the old TV show, The Shield. I can't remember who it was, though.
Michael Chiklis.
Yeah, it was Michael Chiklis, wasn't it? Yeah, he looks a bit like Michael Chiklis.
Yeah. Just bold man.
I don't know, if you wouldn't mistake him for Jason Statham. He's a bold man.
Touche.
So we're being told that Shane's in the hospital. Colour me shocked.
Well, yeah.
I wonder how he ended up there.
Oh, is this who's on whose team?
Yes. Pause that for a second. So on Team Austin, we have the Dudley Boys, Booker T, RVD, and Shawn Michaels. And then on Team Bischoff, we have Mark Henry, Christian, Chris Jericho, Scott Steiner, and Randy Orton. That's a hell of a lineup, isn't it?
Very Canadian, isn't it?
Yeah, just a bit.
Is Bischoff Canadian? I've just got it in my head that Bischoff's
think he
Canadian.
is.
No, I don't think he is either, now that I'm saying it.
I think you should know that about someone you share a birthday with.
Yeah. Sorry, Eric.
He's not going to talk to you for 83 weeks now.
He's from Michigan?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, pointless. Or is he from the south?
Couldn't tell you.
The deep south.
This is where he's from, like the northeast, like New England. Be in the next bit. Michigan, you nailed it.
Yeah, see? It's in there somewhere.
Down there for dancing,
My
right?
birthday, brother.
Yeah. So they make a pretty big promo package out of Austin's career here. I wonder what's going to happen. Because the stipulation for this, going into this, Bischoff and Austin are co-GM of Monday Night Raw. And as I mentioned earlier, Stone Cold is not permitted to lay his hands on a single member of the Raw talent unless they provoke him first physically. So the stipulation is that if Bischoff's team loses, Stone Cold is allowed to attack anybody whenever he wants. But if Stone Cold's team loses, he is no longer GM. And Bischoff is sole GM of Raw. So stakes are pretty high on both sides.
Oh, no, he's touched him. Oh, Bischoff took a good
This is
stunner,
before it
didn't
came
he?
into place, though, I think.
Oh, so this is where they...
Yep. I like this because there were points where he was like asking people to hit him. It's then when he did it with Kane, and it was funny. Because Kane really wants to as a character.
Jericho talking with a lisp for no apparent reason. He's so good at being an asshole.
Yeah.
Whenever people call him Steve, it sounds like they're being like demeaning to it.
Yeah.
But that's his name, Steve Austin.
That's not his actual surname, though.
Austin.
Yeah.
He legally changed it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what it was before.
It was Williams.
I thought it was Williams. I don't know why I hesitated.
Because he couldn't go by Steve Williams because Dr. Death, Steve Williams. Of course,
and then he was like, he wanted to be Steve Austin, but he's from Austin, so he changed where he was from to Victoria, Texas.
If I remember, I think it was Dutch gave him Austin, said you have to change your name.
Well, I've heard a story. I think it was an official story time episode that the WWE did where Stone Cold told the story. He said he came up with it himself.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I heard Dutch say he gave it to him.
Well, someone's lying.
Yeah. Wrestlers.
And
it could be me, I don't know.
This was quite funny, particularly considering Austin and Michaels' history. Because I think Michaels was the last member to join Team Austin. He was really struggling to find a fifth member. And obviously, they hated each other once upon a time. So,
yeah, I don't seem to remember them crossing paths all that much.
Well, it's because after their WrestleMania feud, Michaels retired. And this is not long after he came back. Like a year after he came back.
Yeah.
And Stone Cold wasn't wrestling at the time. So they would have done in a general manager...
Jericho walking out, giving it the big I am.
Yeah, and this is when Teddy Long was Mark Henry's manager and wasn't the general manager of SmackDown.
God, it's weird seeing Jericho and Bischoff.
Yep.
Because they hated each other. It's probably more Jericho hated Bischoff.
That because of the WCW history where he debuted? Well, he debuted in WWE, I should say.
Just the way he was handled in WCW. It was when he was doing the Goldberg stuff, where Jericho was doing the Goldberg stuff.
Yeah.
And he was mimicking Goldberg, and it was supposed to be leading up to a squash match, so Goldberg was going to squash Jericho. But Jericho was insistent on saying, no, don't just let him squash me, have him squash me on pay-per-view, because people want to see him beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And people will pay money to see him beat the shit out of me. Otherwise, it's like any other person. It's like, and he was really adamant, like, I'm not saying I'm not going to lose to him. And then that's when Jericho said, like, if I can't even get booked on a squash match on pay-per-view, I think my days are numbered. Yeah. And then that was it. That's what started the tension between Goldberg and Jericho as well.
We could very well see history repeat itself with how AEW has done similar things as well. Like Ethan Page is the prime example. He did exactly the same thing. And fun fact that I recently learned is that he holds the record for the shortest time from debut to having a world championship. 40 days it took him. So when he first turned up on WWE television to winning a world championship.
That's mad, isn't it? I saw a clip of his Chris Van Vliet interview.
I think it was in that interview.
And he said the first interaction he had with Shawn Michaels. He said Shawn Michaels looked at him and said, I don't know anything about you, but you look like someone that hasn't been given an opportunity. I mean, I don't see it. But
I'm such a big fan of Ethan Page. I think he's got a great look. He's good enough on the mic. He's good enough in the ring. They can do a lot with him.
I don't know. He just seems like he has a ceiling for me.
He may very well do, but we'll see what WWE want to do with him.
I could see him with, like, IC US.
Yeah.
And that's...
I mean, I'm sure he would take that versus not holding a single title in AEW.
Yeah.
He could prove us all wrong, though.
God, that's a bit of a who's who in the ring, isn't it?
Yes.
Look at that. Right, we need to get the fans into this. Who should we start?
Devon Dudley. And Christian on the other side.
Who should we have in either? Mark Henry. Yeah.
It's weird when the Dudleys are probably the lowest profile people.
I was trying to work out who's been in TNA in that ring.
So Christian, the Dudleys, Steiner, RVD, Booker.
Yeah. The more you think about it, the more it just keeps going. I think that's it, to be fair. In fact...
But four of them have been in AEW.
All but one of those held the TNA heavyweight title.
Really?
Devon never held it. All the others did.
The four of them have wrestled in AEW as well.
Yeah, Dudley's haven't, have they?
Mm-mm. So Christian, RVD, Jericho, and Henry.
Did Henry even wrestle?
I don't feel like he did, but he must have done. Feels weird if they just brought him over to do that weird thing on Rampage.
Yeah. Is he signed with WWE again now?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Because they're doing some stuff with his son, aren't they? Like he was on programming with his son in the crowd.
I had no idea. I didn't even know Mark Henry had a son, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah. Jacob, I think.
Jacob Henry.
Yeah.
It's not a very marketable name, is it? I'm sure they'll change it.
Sexy chocolate.
Close enough.
Yeah, I'll do.
I think that's enough to ruin a trademark, though. They'd probably get sued for it.
Well, attractive treat. Sexy dessert. Stop.
I'm glad you stopped yourself before I had to.
It was going a horrible place.
Those two had some great chemistry around this time, Jericho and RVD. And they're wearing the same bloody boots.
Well, Jericho had good chemistry with just about anybody.
But they feuded for a long time for the IC Championship, those two. Now, at this point, RVD is the champion.
I mean, I know Scott Steiner was in WWE, but it just looks really surreal.
He was in there for like a minute.
Yeah.
That's why. Someone holding up a sign that said Weakzilla. Braver man than me.
Yeah. Nope. He was injured for his whole time in WWE, wasn't he?
A lot of it. I don't know if he is now.
See, that's the Scott Steiner that when you picture Steiner, you see that Steiner,
Definitely.
Don't you? Yeah.
I think RVD just landed on his head from that belly to belly then as well.
So it's the opposite. It's the opposite for me, because I'm used to. When I first started watching wrestling and when I first saw Steiner, it was Steiner Brothers. Steiner.
You used to pre-bleach Steiner.
Yeah, and it takes my brain a couple of minutes to sort of. Which is weird because I was really into TNA, especially when Scott Steiner was there, and it still used to take my brain a little minute to sort of get my head around it. But that transformation between
oh my god.
Yeah, tag team wrestler into Big Papa Pump. I mean, we watched the pay-per-view where it happened when he comes back, and it was almost instant.
The turn on
the turn on Rick, and all of a sudden he is Big Papa Pump from there. The character has little nuance changes, like the chainmail and stuff. But it was that was it. Done. There was no slow build into it. It was weird.
Sometimes that works.
Yeah.
Can't think of many examples where it has, but it definitely works.
Look at Bully, he just looks so bored. He's just sat there
He's just watching Booker do his thing. You want to talk about two people who have a history? Booker T and Scott Steiner.
Yeah, there's a long history there.
Yeah, you got to do a spinneroonie in Texas, haven't you?
Bischoff's there just oh, for God's sake.
Oh, here we go. Falling apart. Shawn Michaels can't be asked. Taking his sweet time.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything in this yet, has he?
He is the MVP of this match.
Well, obviously.
It's
Shawn Michaels.
You have no idea. He is by a long way the most important part of this match.
So this is an elimination?
Yeah, standard 5-on-5 elimination.
Okay.
Survivor Series style. That's not a Steiner recliner. Put your legs down, Booker.
Oh, Bischoff. Stacey pull her skirt down. She's just like angled away from Eric.
I mean, the cameraman almost got a good look, so I don't think Eric was the problem.
I don't think Eric snuck a peek then. I think I was just being comedic. If not, I bet his eyes are fucking bleeding.
We've covered a show before where he tries to go into a fucking women's locker room to spy on someone.
Oh, it's Missy Hyatt's locker room. Oh, yeah. That's when he was a young, dirty pervert, and now he's an old, dirty pervert.
Scott Steiner is first eliminated. I would not have thought that would have been the case. Oh, the world's strongest slam never looks good to take, did it? And it's enough to get Booker T eliminated. We're now 4-on-4.
World's fattest man.
Is that what it said?
Yeah. I think that was the guy that had the weak Zilla sign as well. He's probably just turned it like... That's not a very flattering outfit he's got on. It's like...
Who, Henry?
Yeah. It's a bit baggy.
I doubt he cares. There you go. Now, this is the man who's probably the best match for Henry. Bubba.
I mean, yeah, when they run into each other. I mean, Bubba's a big guy.
But Mark Henry's the world's strongest man, so...
Or if you believe that sign, the world's fattest man.
True. Although we know it's not true. We've seen The Big Show. I find it weird Bischoff and Teddy Long stood next to each other. I feel like Teddy was always SmackDown general manager.
Yeah.
Like, constantly.
I just find it really weird to see Christian and Orton just chatting away on the side.
I also like the fact they made Henry so strong he overpowered both the Dudley boys.
What did that say on the back of Devon's?
Blood is thicker than wood. That's what it says. Because they're talking about the tables. There you go. 3D to Mark Henry. And Devon doesn't pin Henry. Oh, God, bloody hell. That's why. 5-star frog splash.
And then a triple. Blood is thicker than wood. I saw a stupid T-shirt design that I forgot existed the other day. It was an APA one.
Always pounding ass.
Always pounding ass. I mean, come on. Who signed off on that?
Vince, obviously.
I can't see. Like, imagine showing that to Ron Simmons. This is going to be your T-shirt. Maybe that's where maybe that's where the damn thing came from.
Could have been.
This is going to be your new T-shirt. Damn.
I think he likes it.
Yeah. Or Bradshaw. They're showing that to fucking Bradshaw.
He probably didn't realise what it meant.
Yeah, we do pound ass. Yeah.
Oh, what a clothesline from Orton to RVD.
His head go back.
I mean, RVD's always been a good seller, hasn't he? We've always known it.
Do you reckon you can still buy an always pounding ass T-shirt? I mean,
second hand, but
I mean, a wrestling specific one. I'm sure. I'm sure there's T-shirts out there that say worse. I mean,
definitely.
I don't want to search for it. Search on eBay. Always pounding ass. See what comes up.
To be fair, they're such a novelty, that particular shirt. I bet it's quite pricey.
Yeah.
Because someone would wear that ironically. Well, teeing it for another 5-star, but Jericho gets in the way.
Next week's episode's got me.
Yes! Definitely.
A scintillating RKO, JR.
Do you know any other kind of RKO? They're all scintillating.
Yeah.
And Orton eliminates Rob Van Dam.
Is this the match that has the really weird RKO in it?
Which really weird
No,
RKO?
it's a botch. Oh, if it happens, I'll show you.
Okay.
Because he hadn't long started doing the RKO, had he?
Do you want tables, guys?
He headbutted him on the bicep.
Mm.
Tag, he just wide slapped him up the back of the head. Oh man, that chop sounded miserable.
That looked like a receipt to me.
Yeah.
Oof. Are Chris Jericho's tights made of velvet? They look like they're made of velvet.
I hope so.
I don't want to sweat in velvet. This is the time of the CLB.
CLB.
Creepy little bastard. Jericho's eliminated Devon. We are 3-on-2. Thanks, JR.
So we're not far from Christian leaving and going over to TNA, are we?
He lasts until Mania. He lasts until longer than Mania, actually, because he wins the IC Championship at Mania. Christian does. Because that was the Trish Love Triangle with Jericho.
That's the first time Michaels has been in.
Bubba's like, fucking hit him, will you? He's just dancing around the ring.
This isn't the RKO botch. I've just realised because they're on the same team.
Who's he do it to?
Jericho. So it wasn't long after he first started doing it. Towards the hard cam side, I remember it really distinctly. Like Jericho's got someone in the walls of Jericho, and Orton comes in and tries to RKO him, and Jericho doesn't move. He just doesn't sell it, so Orton does it again. I thought it was this match, but yeah, it took me a little minute to realise they're on the same team.
Yeah, I remember it for sure.
But yeah, it was it's Ponytail Jericho, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, Bubba's a fucking hot tag, isn't he?
Bubba's always been a great hot tag. Big, yeah.
Ooh.
Always does them really good. Back body drops.
Did Bubba ever have a singles finisher? Outside of TNA, obviously, because he's won world titles. But they were sort of tied to Devon, wasn't he? And vice versa.
He had the Bubba bomb. It was that full Nelson bomb, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I guess Devon was the one that didn't really have one then.
No, I don't think... I can't remember Devon having one. But Bubba had a Bubba bomb, and I'm pretty sure he used a cutter as well.
A low blow from Chris Jericho, and I'm prettier from Christian, and it's just Shawn Michaels.
Where did Devon go?
He got eliminated.
Oh, I missed that. So he's got to go against Christian, Jericho, and Orton. Right.
We're 3-on-1.
That sign said Powerhouse.
Yay.
Hobbs. Again, what's happening in this pay-per-view? There's like little flashes of it being modern day. It's really weird. Someone just holds up a Wardlow sign real quick.
What's happening?
They're probably not even born yet, which is depressing, isn't it?
Who?
Hobbs and Wardlow.
No, they are.
Because Hobbs is quite young, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know how old Hobbs is, but Wardlow's in his mid-30s. So, definitely alive. In his teenage years at this point.
In his mid-30s?
Yeah.
In 2003?
No, Wardlow is in his mid-30s now.
Oh.
He's older than me, so he was definitely alive. Hobbs, I can't be sure, but he would have to be like 20 years old for him to not have been born when this came out.
Yeah, my maths is awful.
Nick Wayne wasn't born when this came out.
And he's with Christian. That's weird to think about, isn't it? How old is Nick? He's 19, isn't he? Or is he
19, 20.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Depressingly young.
Yeah, Michael's really fighting an uphill battle here. And toss into the ring post on the outside. I wonder what happened.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's a lot of blood. Whoops. I think we caught something there, Sean. I think Christian actually just asked him if he was all right.
Yeah. Thank God I wore my red tights.
Orton's wearing his red tights. Jericho is not.
Christian's
Already covered, yeah.
Yeah, he looks like TNA Christian in this.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not far from that.
Not too far.
Because he was one of the first to go over, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Well, first like major name. I think he was like one of the first to, what did they call it? Cross the line, wasn't it?
Oh, a sweet chin music out and over onto Christian. Christian's out. 2-on-1. And Jericho's kind of stalking him.
I always love that detail of Shawn Michaels doing the super kick and then falling back into the pin. It's so good. It's like such a desperation thing. It's so cool.
That's what makes wrestling good, is moments like that.
Ziggler was really good at it as well.
This is JR at his most like intense as well, because obviously he's good friends with Stone Cold. He doesn't want him to have to leave Raw.
Yeah, this is like peak JR as well.
Yeah.
So there's another match after this, isn't there?
There's two other matches after this.
Oh, look, they stay that ring.
Don't worry, one of the matches barely takes place in the ring, so...
Oh, it's a buried alive match,
yes,
isn't it?
and you've seen where the mound of dirt is, so yeah, not spending much time in the ring. That was a fucking close 2 count. Michaels really showing how he can kick out in the last possible second.
Big flying nothing.
Yep. And then both down. Jericho and Michaels in the ring.
Covered!
Orton doesn't let it happen, though.
Oh my god.
Orton threw himself over the rope then, didn't he?
He just moved to the ref.
Lion Salt met with Michaels' knees.
Is he going to kip up covered in blood?
I think he will. That's a lot of blood. They call it a crimson mask, but that is a mask.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not kipping up this this late into the match.
Michaels with a small package eliminates Jericho. And now it's just Orton.
Jericho sucks like Paris Hilton, that sign says.
Blimey.
Blimey. Blimey indeed.
Jericho's back with a chair. Now, I never thought about this when it came to watching it when I was younger. Surely that would disqualify Orton. A chair shot from Jericho.
Yeah, it's outside interference.
Yeah.
Point, isn't it? Yeah. Don't worry about that. Don't think about it too much.
Takes away from the story. But here's Orton crawling into the ring.
Well, he did absolutely launch himself over the ring.
He yeeted himself.
Those kids trying to touch Austin. They're like, oh no, I'm scared. It's a scary man. But I want to. What is that fascination with like touching wrestlers?
I don't know. It's the celebrity thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Orton goes to crossbody Michaels. Michaels ducks and the referee takes it instead.
He did crossbody a Michael, didn't he? Isn't that Mike Chioda?
It is.
God, you can see the blood like dripping off Michael's chin.
Michaels is tuning up the band. You say that, JR, but if he hits the sweet chin music, who's going to count the pin? But here's Bischoff.
That martial arts kick, he says.
Yeah, that's what Bischoff does, right? And Austin has stopped giving a fuck.
That was such a good sell. So he landed perfectly, like upside down,
straight across the bottom rope.
Spread eagle, just crotch in full view of the hard camera.
And Austin is now dragging Bischoff to the back while beating the shit out of him. Look who it is.
That might be the best Batista bomb I've ever seen him do.
Fucking hell, that was good, wasn't it?
Because he never landed on his ass, did he? He sort of just kind of tried to land on his feet almost. In the background, you still see Austin just punching Bischoff.
But Orton gets the pin.
God, what would Orton must think? Got the pin. And here's your
He's like,
winner.
you know Austin's going to be there.
Bischoff's team. He's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Shut the fuck up. Is that the Fink as well?
What's that?
I think it was Howard Finkel, wasn't it?
Yeah, it would have been.
Shut Fink.
I was trying to work out what theme that was, but it's the
Evolution
yeah, it's
theme.
line in the
Randy
sand,
didn't have his
isn't it?
own theme at this point.
Look at that, like, puddle of blood.
That's how you draw the emotion out of it. And Michaels was always really, really good at that. One of the best.
Yeah, if there was anyone qualified to be in charge of NXT.
Which is funny, because during the Mr. McMahon documentary, and he had a part of his interview, he was like, I don't know how the inner workings work up there, of the higher-ups of WWE. And then they're like, you're kind of running things now, mate, so I hope you learned in 3 years.
Shawn never got into acting, did he?
Mm-mm. Might have done a cameo here and there.
Yeah, kind of surprising, really.
It was his love of wrestling, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, he's from that time where wrestling was wrestling, wasn't it? Nowadays, it's like people use wrestling as a jumping point to get into Hollywood, don't they?
Shawn apologising to Austin.
Did he say, I'm sorry, I love you? Not yet,
No,
Shawn.
just I'm sorry.
For God's sake. Spoiler alert. For the best match ever.
Yeah. It's a real emotional moment, isn't it?
Did Austin have like a retirement thing? He didn't, did he?
No, this was it. This was it. It's in Texas.
Fucking hell. Well, so is Shawn.
Mm-hmm.
This was literally his retirement, because I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, he never had a match after this. I think the next thing he did was when he refereed the Lesnar Goldberg match at WrestleMania.
Christ.
Like, he didn't wrestle another match until Kevin Owens.
Which had no right being as good as it was.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, fair enough. I knew there wasn't a big fanfare.
This is the no fanfare.
But that's it. Like, oh, okay. It feels a bit flat.
I think it needed to feel flat. It needed to have that moment. Like when the Undertaker streak was broken. It needs to suck the air out of the room.
Yeah.
But he gets to have this celebration.
God, retired in 2003. That's mad, isn't it? Because he wasn't on top for that long, was he?
No. I said he's about 37 here. I've said it before on the podcast. I will say it again. It's like if Reigns retired now.
He's 37.
He's around that age here, yeah.
He's 1 year older than me right there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What have I done with my life?
Not the same as Stone Cold Steve Austin, obviously.
Watched wrestling. I like that it's this really emotional moment, like Stone Cold retiring, and there's still fans when the camera's on them going,
"Ah!" They're just so happy to see their hero.
Do you say we got another match after this?
We have 2.
Is that a mic issue, or is that him talking?
I think he's talking quietly. I think it's the emotion of the moment.
Okay.
It's definitely quieter than Austin normally is, I'll grant you that.
In hindsight, having Steve Austin retire in Texas and then having to sit through 2 more matches seems a bit weird. One of them involves Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Okay. And another Texan.
Yep. Crowd is still watting him as he's trying to give this heartfelt speech.
It was probably helping him, you know.
Yeah. He didn't want to cry on camera, would he? No, he definitely wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, he's struggling, isn't he? And who else to come and spoil the party?
See, strange to me thinking he wouldn't end it with, and that's the bottom line. But I'm assuming.
Got to give the people what they want.
Yeah.
And what would you rather see? Stone Cold pull a bottom line promo, or Steve Austin beat the shit out of 4 people dressed as security? And also Jonathan Coachman.
Oh, yes. Coachman's getting stunned a few times here, I would imagine. Do you do this thing as well, that whenever anyone comes out, like security,
yeah,
like, is that an AEW?
Yeah, always. Always. Like, is that a young LA Knight?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't recognise them at all.
Nope. None of them. I don't know how recent of a thing that was, you know.
Yeah, that'll do it.
One stunner. Yeah, there's a good sentiment. They can't do much to him. What are they going to do? Fire him? The man's on his way out the door.
Coachman stays in the ring the whole time. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Here's the big stare off, isn't it?
Were you going somewhere?
Look at that.
Stomp a mud hole into Jonathan Coachman.
Did he say sorry, kid, when he picked him up?
Yeah, that's very true on both counts, though. In kayfabe and out of kayfabe, that's good. There you go. You say he's going to get stunned multiple times. Coachman isn't going to get back up after one stunner.
Yeah,
so.
that is true, isn't it?
He's a civilian.
So is this the last time he was on TV?
Until WrestleMania, or the build-up to WrestleMania.
Oh, of course, yeah, we've already been through this.
Yeah,
He was the special guest ref, yeah.
Well, we might not have done. I don't know. Not a clue. But we're here now. I wish I could throw as well as Stone Cold's beer handler can throw, because he never misses.
I wish I could throw as good as Austin can catch. Wherever he is, it just appears.
Yeah.
It's so good. Plot twist. It's Lillian this whole time. Chucking in beers.
But I like the idea he's like the Doctor Strange of beer. Just.
He's the only man that looks scary while he's wearing Daisy Dukes.
They are not Daisy Dukes.
You don't really think... I mean, they're close. They are close.
I think the only reason they're that short is so they're not in the way of the knee braces.
That's a cool touch. Leaves his beer cans in the ring.
That's how you know it's sentimental, when Steve Austin wastes beer on the moment.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about, isn't it? Like, he retired
in his late 30s.
Late 30s, still like one of the most popular superstars on the roster.
Any point in the next 20 years, he would have turned up on TV and he'd have the same ovation.
Yeah.
That would never change. Until the day he dies, he will always get that pop.
Oh, that was really jarring. They just cut the music. Like,
I feel like that might have been a network cut.
Yeah.
So, Undertaker versus Vince McMahon in a Buried Alive match. Going into the story of this, essentially, Brock being WWE champion was essentially Vince's doing. And Undertaker won the opportunity to face whoever he wanted to. And most people expected him to say Brock Lesnar for another WWE Championship match, but he goes, I will never win that title as long as Vince is around. So he chooses to face Vince McMahon in a Buried Alive match.
So this is American Badass Taker,
oh, yeah.
Right,
this is Dead Man Walking. Very religious imagery, isn't it?
Mm. Which is weird considering it's Biker Taker.
Well, yeah, but the indication here is that the loser is dead.
Whenever he put his middle finger at Vince McMahon, because he kind of...
Yeah.
I can do it with this one. But, there we go.
I think Eminem does it the same way. I don't know why.
How do you do that?
Don't know. It's just natural, I guess.
Hurts, man.
I, to this day, still don't know how they managed to hide. I don't know what the mechanics were of how they managed to do what they did with the Buried Alive here.
So, They said they're going to be buried alive in that 6-foot grave. Well, the Undertaker's 7 foot, so that's...
Well, 6 foot deep.
I was trying to be funny.
Didn't come across.
Oh, those evil submissions. Taz's keys to victory.
Yeah, well, of course he's going to talk about submissions, isn't he? I think this was a thing around the time in pay-per-views.
Home field advantage.
It's in Texas, yeah. And then match experience.
Avoid the hole.
And then here's McMahon's keys to victory.
Invincible confidence.
Avoid the hole.
Mental stability? What?
Hindsight's a great thing, isn't it?
Avoid the hole.
Avoid the hole. Oh, boy.
What were you talking about? Logistics of it and how they did it. It's pre-taped, wasn't it?
Huh?
It's pre-taped, wasn't it?
I don't know. No, that's live in the arena. Like, that mound is there. Like, you obviously got into the hole and then it was covered in dirt. So...
Oh, I would have thought they would have shot, like, the ending of it pre-taped.
But for the live audience, you've still got to keep the kayfabe somehow.
Yeah,
I still don't know how they did it. And I've never bothered to look it up. And I'm not going to. Sometimes you've got to keep the mystery.
That sign wasn't a sign. It looked like they stole it from, like, their school. It looked like the whiteboard.
It was a whiteboard.
Yeah.
So they're just making signs up as they go along.
God, he's walking like his knees are shot here, isn't he?
13 years of wrestling. They're probably not far off.
I mean, we saw the last Undertaker match in 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, they say match.
It was cinematic.
Yeah. Was it around this time, Big Evil Taker, that he just let himself go a little bit?
I'm not sure. I don't remember him being in particularly bad shape.
So is this supposed to be Vince praying, is it?
I guess so. He said to Shane earlier in that promo that he felt kind of spiritual about the moment. So he's found some kind of spirituality coming up to this match.
That sign says, Vince, you're grounded.
How long do you think it took him to come up with that one?
Get it?
Yeah, he thinks there's a higher power that's going to help him win this match.
Well, he is the higher power. It was me, Taker. It was me all along. I can do quite a good Vince with my voice like this.
That's not bad.
That's the key to doing a Vince impression. Get COVID.
Sweet. I'll remember that next time I need one. He's in pretty good shape. He's not letting himself go.
Yeah, I don't know what I was talking about.
I don't remember Taker ever letting himself go. He seems like too disciplined of a man to do that.
Yeah, I could have sworn around, like, Biker Taker, he let himself go a bit. I don't know where I heard that, but...
Vince is already bleeding.
Speaking of bleeding, the ring's got really clean, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure they washed it down.
Well, I don't think it would have mattered, really. Vince bleeding in the same ring as Michaels. I'm sure they shared a lot of bodily fluids.
That's insubstantiated. Oh, my God. That is a lot of blood as well. Just like Vince to overdo a blade job.
Yeah.
Never does anything by halves, does he?
Oh, you can literally see it. Not
pouring.
Like dripping. It's
pouring.
Yeah, like you say, it's pouring, isn't it? Like Taz, like the faucet of a sink.
It's streaming from his head. But like I said, this match does not take place in the ring very much. Because it doesn't need to.
I can't imagine it goes that long, to be fair.
I don't think it does. I think it's like 17 minutes, something like that.
God, that was weird. I thought those cameramen's T-shirts had WCW Nitro on them.
Well, it wouldn't matter.
It was the same colours and everything. Though.
Yeah.
No,
They own
Bischoff's
WCW
just gone, mate. You've ruined it. Jesus Christ.
That is so much blood.
It's so red.
It's always so red. I don't know what they do. Must be a lot of riboflavin.
Yeah, just iron-rich blood.
The diets these wrestlers must have, there must be a lot of iron in it. So, yeah, that makes sense.
They take aspirin before.
Well, that's a thinner, isn't it?
It like thins your blood, yeah.
Don't know about making it more red, but it'll thin it. It's an anticoagulant.
That's a word.
That is a word.
Yeah, I don't know how, like, red my blood would be.
Just checking.
No, I'm prone to getting anemic. I have to take iron supplements. Like,
do you not have one of those fish?
Fish?
The iron fish that you put into, like, when you're making sauces and stuff, and it enriches the sauce with iron.
No, I never heard of that.
It works the same way that a cast iron skillet would.
Okay.
If you're making like anything sauce-based liquid, you just put that in there and it'll enrich the sauce with iron.
An iron fish.
An iron fish. That's the next Zac Efron film.
It'd be about female wrestlers, would it? Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Who's playing RuPaul in it
then? I'm sure they can blame themselves.
The crowd is like eerily quiet for this as well.
Well, I think they're worried about how much he's bleeding, but at the same time they don't give a shit because they hate the Mr. McMahon character.
It's like, yeah, we hate Vince, but check his
blood on the fucking announce desk.
It looks like paint.
Yeah.
It's so weird to me, like when wrestlers transition into commentary, they forget like they can fight. Like Taz is like, oh my god, I'm gonna get out of here in a minute. Like he was the toughest guy in ECW.
But the point is, like, he couldn't be cleared. I think that's why you've got to. That's the philosophy they've got to go by.
It was Joe, wasn't it? When Joe was on commentary, and he just would
so strange.
He just wouldn't move. Mm-hmm. He'd be like, what? It's like, yeah, that's a wrestler on commentary.
That was the last episode, actually. It would have been. It was Extreme Rules 2020.
You know,
when Joe was on commentary.
I literally thought the ref was checking for a pulse then.
You might have been. I don't blame him one bit.
We genuinely might have to bury him. It's a good job we got that digger.
Can we get rid of the word alive on the screen?
Just buried.
Just buried.
God, it's real dirt as well, isn't it? Crimea River. Like his leg just went into it.
I want to keep this bit going forever. Real anything. It's Crimea River.
Do you reckon that's a real shovel, Crimea River?
Yeah. Oh, that's not a real shovel.
What did he just hit?
The ambulance, I think.
Oh, God. It's probably a good job that's there as well, isn't it? Fucking Vince is there, like, pissing. There's no other way to put it. He's pissing blood in a puddle in the ring, and Undertaker's walking down with a shovel, and the crowd are just like,
you want me to hit him with this?
I don't know about this.
That looked like it hit him in the face.
The sound. It had that, like, hollow thud.
Yep. Don't like that one bit. Look, I swear it hits him in the face.
Oh, man.
No, thank you.
Yeah, he didn't. He barely put his head down to.
I told you, he doesn't do things by halves.
Did he say Vince's family are at home watching this?
Linda.
Don't ruin kayfabe. Shane's in the hospital.
There you go. Cole corrects it.
Oh yeah, good.
But Linda and Stephanie probably at home watching this.
Look at that blood.
Oh my God.
It looks like someone spilled nail varnish.
Yeah, it's that kind of thickness, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that consistency.
It's vibrant.
It's runny and it's thick.
It looks like it's got a life of its own. It's that thick. Come on, Vince, I got you. Puts him on his back. Let's walk up to the grave and get this over with, shall we?
Vince is just trying to hold on like that. It looks so weird. God.
His head all matted down from the blood.
How is he going to carry him up that?
With ease. Oh no, he's just going to dump him in the dirt.
Imagine if Taker just fell in. Oh.
Well, you got to bury him though. Throwing him in isn't enough.
Oh, God, if that's real sand, it will get in, like, the cuts.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, man.
I don't know what it is that it's made of. But obviously Vince has got to be careful there. But hits Taker with a low blow.
Oh, God, this isn't going to be good, is it?
And Taker's in the grave. But Taker's got the shovel. So what's he going to do?
Oh, you could hear Vince talking then, couldn't you?
Oh,
Oh, my
Taker
God.
pulls Vince straight into the grave and is straight up. Taker goes to get in the digger and pyro goes off. And it's gotta be Kane.
It's gotta be Kane. Oh.
Misses that punch entirely.
Missed a few there, didn't he? Just shoves him.
Yeah, he's gonna get in the digger.
Danny's gay.
Is that what that's?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the only way he could tell anybody.
Classic.
And Kane reaches into the grave and grabs Taker's bandana.
Yeah, I'm trying to
work out how they would do this.
Yeah,
I don't know. But Vince tilts the digger down, which is full of dirt.
Yeah, fair enough.
And the Undertaker has been buried alive.
It must have been 2 shots. Like it had to be.
It's live, pal.
I bet if you... Oh, I don't know, actually.
I was trying to... At the time, so I was like 11 years old, I was trying to figure it out. And I was like, maybe there was an oxygen tank in there. Maybe there was a secret passage.
No, they wouldn't chuck that much...
A trapdoor.
Trapdoor seems to... Yeah, that would make sense.
It's a big mound. Look at the blood on the announce desk, though.
You can hear the crowd chanting bullshit.
That is bullshit, isn't it?
So I reckon they must have shot it up to the point where Taker was in there, and then maybe left it from there.
Maybe.
So the live crowd must have seen Taker at some point.
But bear in mind, this was done live.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I bet somewhere online there's a...
And now we have our main event. Don't need to see the video package for it. I think we know this feud pretty well.
Yes. Is this Triple H in bike shorts, Triple H?
No, that was...
that was Hell in a Cell, wasn't it?
It was the Elimination Chamber, which was at the SummerSlam, so a couple of months before this.
That's it, Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, we're 3 months removed from that.
Why was he wearing bike shorts?
He was injured.
It is the bike shorts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's still injured then. Main eventing a pay-per-view while injured. I think he's like hurt his groin or something.
Okay.
Like torn his groin.
And there must be like compression.
Yeah.
Groin compression. I don't know. I'm not a groin expert.
Someone somewhere is into that. Groin suppression.
Because it looks like he's got the shorts on, the compression things, and then he's just put his pants on over the top.
No, I think that is all one piece. So I got to tell you, Jack, from what I remember, this match is shit.
Is it longer than 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a Goldberg match longer than 2 minutes.
But nobody comes out of this looking good. Now, I want to see if I'm going mad here, because I remember around this time, Goldberg had a different theme to what he used in WCW and what he used in his latest run. So I don't know if they would have changed it back on the network.
Okay.
I remember a very different melody to Goldberg's song. Like, it was similar, but it wasn't the same song.
Triple H, the honeymoon is over. It's a more sort of...
No, this is the theme that I don't remember.
Okay. Because it's the same as his. It's just a more orchestral version.
No, this is the one he used on his recent run as well. This is completely different to the one I remember.
Okay. Oh, he never got those kicks in time, did he?
No, not once.
Bang! 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 Oh, fucking hell!
Keep going.
When he does the kick, it's almost like he's second guessing it. He's like, I'm just... Ah! So yeah, if Triple H has got a groin injury, Goldberg's got his leg quite heavily taped as well.
Yeah. Understandably, why this match is shit.
I like the fact that they're wrestling and the ref's just wrestling with
trying
Flair.
to hold back Ric Flair.
Oh yeah, because he did that jump then, and then.
I like that. Goldberg just no-selling a chop from Flair. Now the match starts after Flair has been ejected from the ring.
God, JR is really good at just talking nonsense, isn't he? God, he reversed Hunter with the velocity of the... What are you talking about? He threw him over the rope.
We can't improv for 3 hours.
No.
That's just hard to do, man. I think he kicked the stairs.
What just happened then?
I think Goldberg just kicked the stairs in frustration.
Where did that chair come from as well?
I don't know. I wish I could tell you.
I was going to say I don't know who wins this, but I can take an educated guess.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's the opposite of what you're thinking.
Okay.
Oh, Goldberg saying fuck you to Ric Flair. Oh, that's his groin. Don't pick him up by his groin.
Smash.
I think the leg is kayfabe.
Okay, yeah.
But the groin is not.
Kayfabe groin. Smash mouth style, they say about Goldberg.
I'm just imagining Goldberg now. Somebody wants to...
Christ. Look at Taz, just quite sat there going,
Yep, this is violence. I'm used to this.
Yeah. a leg, chair. Is that it?
Choke him out.
Bam Bam Bigelow threw me through the fucking stage. Did he just shout Rick?
He did. Point. He's telling him to get him.
Do you know who I'd like to see play Ric Flair in
Go on.
Al Pacino.
Well, not really possible now.
No.
But I could have seen it back in the day.
Because Flair's only been done on the screen once, hasn't he? In Iron Claw.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
It was fucking awful.
Not a good Flair.
Yeah, Al Pacino, like late 90s Al Pacino, I think, would have been great.
Like Scent of a Woman Al Pacino around that time.
Yeah. I'm only saying this because I watched Donnie Brasco the other day.
Oh, okay.
Like that sort of Donnie Brasco.
I have not seen many Pacino films. I need to get on that. But I have seen Scent of a Woman.
Okay. let me try and guess.
I think
your Pacino.
I think
films.
I've seen 3.
All right. Okay. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, I forgot he was in that. 4.
Okay. Right. Cool. Scarface.
Nope.
Okay. Dog Day Afternoon.
Nope.
Okay. Godfather.
Yes.
1 and 2.
Nope. Just 1.
Just 1. All right. So 3 more.
Well, other than Scent of a Woman and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so 1 more.
Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill is
Fuck
the other
off.
one.
Fuck off.
I told you I need to get on it.
I said that as a fucking joke.
I have seen Jack and Jill.
Oh my God.
I haven't seen Dog Day Afternoon. I haven't seen Serpico. I haven't seen The Godfather 2.
Heat.
Haven't seen Scarface. Haven't seen Heat.
But you've seen fucking Jack and Jill.
Haven't seen Insomnia. That was Pacino, wasn't it?
Not
was
sure.
that Pacino and Robin Williams? They've been in a film together.
That's interesting.
I think it might have been Insomnia.
Donnie Brasco is very good.
Mm.
But yeah, watch more Al Pacino films.
I will.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
I feel like we're missing a big one. Yeah, Heat's the him and De Niro.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a fucking great film. This match is good, isn't it?
I told you. Yeah,
there's a lot of smoke and mirrors.
There has to be, because these two are fucked. Goldberg can't have more than a 2-minute match, as you said, and Triple H is injured as fuck, so he can't carry the match. I don't know why they went with this.
Who else is in Scent of a Woman?
I don't know. I can't even remember who the kid is.
I need to look this up. I'm pretty sure there was someone.
Yeah, and I just put it on randomly. I think it was just on one day. It wasn't like I picked it from a streaming service. It was just showing.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it.
Oh, okay. Who's the kid? Chris O'Donnell.
He played Robin in Batman and Robin.
Right. Okay.
Gabrielle Anwar, she's in Burn Notice.
Bradley Whitford. Bloody love a bit of Bradley Whitford.
There you go.
Francis Conroy.
Francis Conroy's in it, yeah. Yeah, we're scraping the dregs here, aren't we?
Just a bit.
June Squibb.
Well, with Pacino, you pretty much just get Pacino unless one of the other big Italian actors are in there.
Yeah.
Or Adam Sandler.
That's Pacino money. Pacino.
That is, yeah. Dunkachino.
Oh, he raps in it, doesn't he?
Have you? I got this from Game Grumps of all places, but you realise the error in that? He said he changed his name to
he's
Dunk.
in it.
Huh?
Yeah, he's in it. That's the error.
Yeah, well, that is the error. But he says he changed his first name to Dunk, so it's Dunkachino. It's not. It would be Dunk Pacino.
Dunk Pacino.
But he calls it Dunkachino. That's how bad that script was.
God's sake. It's weird when you see actors do stuff like that, don't you? And it's like, oh, come on.
I'm trying to think of other examples. Oh, Michael Caine with that Jaws movie. I can't remember which one it was, 2 or 4 or something like that.
Jaws 4, The Revenge.
Yeah, but the interview he did about that movie is more famous than the movie itself.
He did loads.
Yeah.
He did loads of those. Weird, like, B-movie. What was it called? Was it called Lupus? Lupin?
No,
it was about, like, rabbits or something.
Jesus Christ. Lupine, it must have been.
And he was in it, I think.
Stupid.
Oh, no, it was Bees. The Swarm, that's what it was called, yeah.
Literal B-movie.
Yeah.
Oh, Triple H's got brass knucks. Hits Goldberg straight in the face with them.
Harvey Keitel was in Little Nicky. Quentin Tarantino was in
that's
Little
not
Nicky,
that bad.
Yeah. So is Patricia Arquette. What's going on with that cast?
Goldberg kicks out after the brass knucks. That was a 3. Triple H's elbow drops Earl Hebner in the head.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Earl.
Yeah, that was a weird count, wasn't it?
Yeah, that should have been 3.
I don't think Goldberg kicked out on time.
He did not. He's got the sledgehammer.
Every time I see Triple H use a sledgehammer now, he only ever used a fake sledgehammer once.
Really?
Is that Ric Flair on the top rope?
Yeah, he's desperate. It's fine. He'll get yeeted.
Oh my God.
That's the second time he's took a backdrop like that in this match.
Yeah, Triple H only used a fake sledgehammer once.
When was that?
And it was against The Undertaker.
The Hell in the Cell match.
And it was Undertaker picks him up for the last ride while he's holding the sledgehammer and he sort of stabs it into...
Yeah, that's the only time he's ever done that successfully. Anytime he swung it over his head like that, it's never hit.
It's also the only time he's ever injured someone with it. Because it was...
That's crazy.
Apparently it was foam on the end, and when he went like that...
It went through the foam and the wood
hit
him on the head. Amazing. Oh, Triple H setting it for the pedigree. We got bodies thrown around the ring, by the way, because Batista turned up and got his ass handed to him.
What's he thinking?
Nah, he doesn't need the sledgehammer. He's got a spear.
No, he didn't really nearly break him in half, did he? It was he ran into him. I mean, there's no doubt that it hurt.
Ran's even a bit of a stretch with that leg. Jackhammer.
Oh, God.
Where's Earl?
Oh, there's your visual. Hang on, when did Orton get there?
1, 2, 3. Goldberg retains. That's not what you expected, was it?
No.
Goldberg takes out all of Evolution on his own.
Triple H even did the Hogan thing of like kicking out after 3 as well.
Right in the reign of terror, aren't we?
Well, it wasn't the worst match I've ever seen, but
it's good considering the barriers they had to overcome. But No.
And if you think about it as well, they've had Austin retire earlier on.
Yep.
And let's say, for argument's sake, they shot the Buried Alive match in 2 different bits. So they would have potentially seen Undertaker buried and then climb out of the grave. And then they've had to sit through 2 injured competitors.
Yeah. It's a real hot and cold pay-per-view, isn't it?
Yeah, the crowd must have just gone,
Yeah, let's go home.
I would imagine there would have been another Austin celebration once the cameras
possibly.
stopped.
For a show like this, you'd need something like that. Yeah, he is absolutely gassed, isn't he?
He just gives the kid the belt. There you go.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Goldberg. And there you go. That was Survivor Series 2003. Like I said, hot and cold pay-per-view. It's the pay-per-view I've watched the most in my life.
Why?
I think I'd recorded it. That's why. So I just had the VHS in my house, and when I had nothing better to do as a poor kid growing up, I would just watch that.
I think the pay-per-view that I've watched the most for that reason is the Rumble 2004.
Oh, great. Yeah, I had that as well, actually. Great Rumble.
That's the one where Benoit won.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pay-per-view is the one I've seen the most, I think. But purely because I videotaped it.
Couldn't tell you another match that's on that card off the top of my head, but yeah, absolutely. Because it was pretty much a one-match show, wasn't it? But yeah, any other thoughts on it? The show as a whole?
It happened.
Mm-hmm. Do you know, I still like it.
Yeah.
I mean, that main event's a big letdown, but other than that, I think it's a pretty solid show.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. You look at some of the stars on it, and it's that era where
it's stacked.
Any pay-per-view you watch, it's going to be like just a who's who of.
But we do say that in hindsight with a lot of people who are still coming up, like Cena and Orton are just starting out. Batista's just starting out.
Yeah,
obviously
true.
They're big names now, but back then they really weren't.
Yeah,
and they were just finding their feet, and goes to show what time will do to a wrestler.
And Nathan Jones.
Yeah, and Nathan Jones. He was here as well. On that note, thank you for listening to or watching us talk over Survivor Series 2003. Give us a like, comment, let us know what you think of the episode, what other episodes you'd like us to cover in future. Give us a follow or a subscribe depending on where you are. Until next time.
Bye.